It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm telling you what, it's a nippy weekend this weekend in the Shy. We're not even supposed to, let's check it out. We're not even going to get higher than 65. Woo, Charlie, we got, what do we got today? 53 today, 62 tomorrow, 49 on Sunday, 49 on Monday. Woo, Charlie, it's going to be, I guess fall is really here. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. As I said, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. And if you're watching this on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube and our YouTube channel, then I guess you found us on YouTube. Now, if here's what I want to do. I want to ask you a favor. If you're watching this if you're not watching this on our YouTube channel, if you're watching it, first of all, if you're watching this on the app, well, then I guess you found us on the app as well. But here's what I want to ask you to do. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, do me a favor. Make sure you go and you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay? Please do that. Go do that. We're getting our numbers up. We want to get our following nice and big. So we need your help. Okay? So make sure you go follow us on the YouTube channel. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel and Facebook Live, make sure you download the app. Okay? Because you may not always be at home to check us out. This way you can check us out on the app. Make sure you do that, okay? You can download the app, SportsZone Chicago. You can get it off of iTunes, Google Play, Amazon. Wherever you get your apps from, that's where you can find us, all right? Hey, listen, thanks for tuning in. We got a great show, but listen, I need you to tweet the show. You can tweet us at SM_mornings, at SM_mornings, or just at SportsZone Shy, that's CHI, at SportsZone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. Want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. And I will be remiss if I didn't bring him in. He is the man who does it all. He's behind the scenes. You don't see him very much. Actually, no, you do see him a lot. He jumps in all the time. He is the whiz. He is the man behind the curtain. He is my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife himself, Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa?
Good morning, Shawn. What's up? No, man, dude, I'll tell you what. I think the Tampa Bay Rays are in trouble. I know it's kind of off topic and not Chicago. But I was watching it yesterday, and I'm just like, man, if they don't close out today, they're in big trouble. I don't think they win that series. And then the Atlanta Braves are on fire. I think the Atlanta Braves, no matter who wins in the AL, I think the Atlanta Braves are going to win the World Series.
Maya was on them jokers from Jump Street. She just said watch for the Atlanta Braves.
She did.
Watch out for Atlanta.
Did. Yep. And like they're through 6 games, after their first 6 games, they got like a one run ERA, like it's 1.0 like 3. You know what I'm saying? Like that's incredible. But they're putting a beat down on the Dodgers, and you gotta think Dave Roberts again with another gaffe. Like Kershaw doesn't go past 6 innings, dog. You know this, man. Like he shouldn't go past 6 innings in a postseason game at all. I don't give a damn I don't give a damn what's going on. If he gives you 5 amazing innings, you take it, you put it in your pocket, and you go get somebody else. He's already proven it time and time again that you can't trust him past 6. And it was a 1-run. It was a tie game until he let him come back out for that 6th inning, dude. It was terrible. I was like, what the hell are you doing, Dave? You know that it's your guy. It's your guy. I know, but you know him. Like, you know what he could do. It was incredible to me. But I've been enjoying the playoffs, the baseball playoffs. Besides, without not having one of our teams in it.
I couldn't tell. See, I even got fired up this morning. Holy cow, he was fired up. I love it. I love it. Oh man, listen, when I tell you we got a great show, I can't wait. At 9 o'clock, you know who's coming up right now. He's already in the bullpen. He's warming up. He might even be lathered up already. He's not looking like a cyber hacker today, which is good. Hey, I didn't get any Bitcoin. Hold on, player. We're going to talk to him when he comes back out. Hold on a minute. Joseph Phillips is going to be out in just a moment. And then at 10 o'clock to take the baton from him from 10 to 11 is going to be Kenneth Davis. At 10 o'clock, we have Tab Bamford. He's a Major League Baseball and NHL columnist. We're going to talk a little baseball. We're going to have Ivan jump in on this one because Ivan is fired up about this championship series. These championship series is. And so we want to get that. And I do agree with him, though. If Houston wins today, I will not be happy,
and I will be pissed if those jokers. I'd be pissed,
man.
And I want to call them something else. I want to call them a couple names, but I'd be pissed if they end up beating the Rays with how good of a story that Rays team is. You know what I'm saying? Like just the who the hell are they? The nobodies. They're the nobody Rays that are challenging the cheaters. I guess. I mean they're champs. They're former cheating champs. No. Champs of the Astros.
No, they're not even champs.
They're the chumps.
They're the chumps. That's exactly right. And then at 11 o'clock, Jason Palmer takes the baton from Kenneth Davis, and he rides it home. We go home. He brings it home with me. But at 11 o'clock, we have Drew Cole from Sports Mockery. He's a Bears insider for Sports Mockery. We're going to talk a little Bears football. We got a Bears preview. The Bears play the Carolina Panthers on Sunday. Can they go to 5-1? Woo-wee! So we're going to find out. We're going to talk to Drew at 11 o'clock. Now, listen. Now, was that a great show? Is that a great show for you? Is that a great show? Was I bull jiving? No, I wasn't bull jiving. But you know what? You know how we do, guys. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning to You. And these are the hot topics of the night before, or just the sports in general. And boy, oh boy, do we have some doozies. And with that, I have to let you know that our Top of the Morning segment is powered by the Chicago Crusader. And with that, we got to bring in our man. He is a non-hacker looking dude today. He's a lot more conventional. You can find him he is the sports editor over at the Chicago Crusader. You can find him on Twitter at ACAJoe. Guys, just bring him in. Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa?
Good morning, Papa. God bless. Can you see me out there? It's a little bright.
Yeah, I can see you. Okay.
Honestly, Joseph, that's probably the best lighting you've ever had.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it is good. It is good.
This is that curious Scoto lighting that I learned about in humanities class back at Robert Morris University.
You don't got that circle light? You got that circle light behind your computer?
The sunlight, and then I got the light, the regular light hit me. So
Okay.
So we don't get no sunshine in this broadcast.
What's with the no cyber hacking look today? Just change it up or what?
Oh man. You know what? This week, it's been a rough week. So today I had to go back to the polo a little bit.
Okay.
I'm supposed to be getting a haircut pretty soon. So
all right.
I'm hitting that winter Joe, that winter Joe, get a little rugged, get ready for New York next week, so I'm getting a little rugged a little bit. Just getting that dirty streets and alleys look,
Hey, I hear you, man. You know what? We got people hopping on the text line already. Armando Lara. I really don't want the Astros to win. Hell, Mickey Ficky, no.
I'm right now from Moon Township.
Oh man, Oh man, I'll tell you. But hey, did you get me any Bitcoin before you took your cyber hacker outfit off? Did you send me any Bitcoin or anything?
I still haven't reached out to my Nigerian buddies yet. You know, I gotta holler at them because they've been trying to connect me to the Bitcoin for a while, and then COVID hit, everything got quiet for a little bit. So, but I believe Bitcoin is going to be a part of that one world currency that's coming. That everybody talks about.
I think it might be, but yeah, I think it might be. But that's another topic for another
that's
story.
That cashless society, as they say, cashless society.
That's what they're trying to do. Oh yeah. But well, again, that's another story for another podcast.
Off the record.
Well, let's get it cracking, man. The first top of the morning topic, and man, this one hit me in my chest, man. Le'Veon Bell, who was just cut by the New York Jets yesterday or 2 days ago, had to wait a 24-hour period. Well, he didn't have to wait. Someone could have picked him up off of waivers,
right?
And they would have picked up his contract. So everyone was like, hell no. We ain't taking $8 million for this joker. And the season's all, So he cleared waivers, and the Bears were rumored to be on his short list. And it really all depended on who you saw and who you listened to. Because some people I heard that the Bears were on his short list, and then a couple of other people I heard that I didn't hear that the Bears being on his short list. Well, that's a moot point at this point because he ends up signing with the freaking defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The rich just got richer.
Yes, that is correct. And when you think of the word monopoly, you think of the word Kansas City Chiefs because that's exactly what they have right now, a monopoly. And at the end of the day, the Bears had their chance. They stood there and drug their feet. They procrastinated because they had Lamar Miller on the practice squad, so they felt that, we didn't have to be aggressive. They could have made a trade with the Jets and got it on out of the way. But instead, they tried to take the cheap route, wait for him to be released, and then, okay, Le'Veon, could you choose us? Le'Veon was like, no, I got a personal vendetta against the Jets. As a matter of fact, I looked at the Jets' schedule, and their next 3 games are against the 3 teams that I'm going to leave as the final selection when it comes to who I'm going to play for. And he chose the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Kansas City Chiefs play the Jets in the next 2 weeks. So that's perfect timing for Le'Veon Bell.
I wish he wasn't so damn petty. And I don't fault the Bears. No one wanted to pick up his contract because that's $8 million, not for a backup or a tandem running back. I know his skill set is all pro. Don't get me wrong, but he's not going to be the bell cow like he was in Pittsburgh. So to pay $8 million, no, that's definitely, well, obviously that's something no one wanted to pay because he cleared waivers. But right. I do think you're right when you said that he had a vendetta and he was looking after people. He was looking at teams that were probably going to end up playing the Jets. And it's unfortunate that the Bears are not going to be playing the Jets, and because I tell you what, he would have been a really, 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 really good addition to this team. He's going to be a great addition to the Kansas City Chiefs because they have one running except for Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill end around, like they don't have any rushing touchdowns from the running. They have one. I take that back. They have one rushing touchdown. That was from week 1. Okay, so it's. They need help on that ground game. If they get help on that ground game, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, frick is going to happen, man?
Well, you know what, Shawn? Like part of it is the rookie running back, but also, he's getting hit in the backfield as well. Like the Chiefs' offensive line isn't doing them any justice getting that running game going. But if you get a guy like Le'Veon, maybe that changes everything. He's not a rookie running back by any means, but you got to think about. Is he the same guy? Is this the same guy? I know he played for the Jets and he's coming, he had that holdout year and stuff like that, but is he the same guy? Does he have all the same motivations? Does he all have it? Are his wants up here still the same? Because I get wanting to win a Super Bowl.
You're going to play with the Super Bowl champion.
You want to win a Super Bowl. Of course, I get wanting to win a Super Bowl. but you could be carried to winning a Super Bowl. He just let the Jets carry his ass to $28 million. Just hand him $28 million.
That's not a Super Bowl. That's not a Super Bowl.
I can see
it's not a Super Bowl.
See a guy like that riding the coattails.
AI.
What?
Hey, Ivan.
You see him right? Come on, man.
The
New York Jets. The New York Jets were a train wreck.
One sign of trouble there. I can see Le'Veon just like.
Okay, you are delirious. You must have what you been drinking in your coffee this morning, bro? This guy's going to the defending Super Bowl champions who need a running attack, and he's already got his $28 million from New York. All right, he's gonna get paid. He's getting I think New York owes him they got to pay him the rest of the $6 million this year, and he's gonna get probably a mil, 1.5 to 2 from the Chiefs. But this guy's motivated. This guy, he missed a year. He's only 28. He's still in his prime. All right, he has another year, a season and a half before that magic number 30 hit. So he's good. He didn't play very much. I mean, he was very disgruntled. He goes going to a team with like that. Oh, this dude's good. This dude's gonna be fired up, dude. And you bet that rookie running back. You better watch yourself, homie. You might be getting a little less.
Like I said, if they could block for him, if he changes the whole running game, okay, cool. But I don't think running the football. I don't know if there's going to be a huge difference. They couldn't block for the running backs that they had now.
Hey, Ivan, I'm going to use one of your phrases. I'm going to respectfully disagree with you. Are you kidding me? First of all, this guy has vengeance on his mind. Okay, anytime you go to a team specifically so you can play against them in the next week, because if he would have went to the Buffalo Bills, he would have played them this week. Actually, I believe either this week or next week. You see what I mean? Or the Miami Dolphins, he would have played them this week or next week. My whole thing is that Le'Veon Bell is that new gen type of athlete, like a LeBron James, who they're very petty, and they like the advantage. They like to get on teams with monopolies, and then they like to showcase their skills. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, he played the Jets. He got his money.
Oh yeah. Right? Well, he played the Jets. He played the Jets and the Steelers.
Exactly. He got his money.
And I don't knock him for that.
Yeah.
I'm just questioning, like, man, it's just the way, and maybe it's just the Jets, how bad the Jets are. Maybe I'm not seeing it in Le'Veon's eyes. Of course I'm not, because I'm not Le'Veon. But to leave like that, for everybody to be leaving like that, is it? Man, it's hard to just say it's one person's fault.
Dude,
what did Le'Veon contribute to that?
They're tanking for Trevor Lawrence, and he didn't want any part of it. Like, look, I want to, they're not using me. All right, they're not blocking for me, and when they're not using me, and then when they are using me, I got no blocking. He had nothing. There was nothing and no one there. What receivers did they have over there? Can you name me some receivers that they have over with the Jets?
Al too. I was just like
Wesley Walker.
Hey, Art Monk. Remember Art Monk?
His last year or so.
Right. Back in the 80s. I had his football card, by the way. But
they have nothing over there. They have nothing in there. They have nothing, and all they're doing was they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence. That's all they're doing. And he's like, I'm out. Bump this.
And to add, I read an article on another reason why Le'Veon Bell wanted out of there is because of Adam Gase. Now, Adam Gase, when he took the job, he wanted the offense to go another route. He wanted to make it a more passing game. But the Jets traded for Le'Veon Bell, and then there was a difference in philosophical agreements when it came to management and Adam Gase. And therefore, Adam Gase never liked Le'Veon Bell, so therefore he didn't do anything that favored his running game. So Le'Veon Bell realized that, and he was like, well, if you don't like me, then you need to just get rid of me. And that's how all of the drama started.
See, these offensive coordinators who have these young play callers who have their system and their whole thing, and it's got to be their way. It's killing it. It's killing the Jets. It's killing the Bears. You need a savvy vet like Andy Reid to say, okay, what do I have? okay, whatever I have, I'm gonna morph my system to fit what I have. Because Le'Veon Bell, the dude was getting the ball, he was touching the ball damn near 400 or 300 something times. Like, come on, man. He was an all-pro. This guy is legit.
MVP candidate,
Yeah. And so to not use him, to not run him into the ground, like if for all the money he got in New York, I would have ran his ass into the ground. Like, oh, you want the rock? We got you the rock. I might even put you back on kick returns and punt returns. Damn it. You want all that money? Or you're going to earn that money. And it's just unfortunate that they didn't do it. And it's super unfortunate that he decided to sign with the freaking Chiefs. So I'm telling you, he only signed a 1-year deal. So he's getting paid $6 million prorated. Or they'll probably give him a $2 million. I think it's probably somewhere about $2 million as a vet minimum. And it's prorated, so he's not going to get the first 4 weeks or 5 weeks. Secondly, he can't have a contact with the team for 5 days or 6 days. He has to have a negative COVID-19 test 5 or 6 consecutive days
for like a week.
Correct. So,
my thing is, I'm if Lamar Miller's healthy and they're using him in a rotation, I'm good with Lamar Miller. I'm okay with Lamar Miller because I just don't know if I trust that Le'Veon isn't a cancer. You see, because of the departures from two teams, because of how everything ended, because with both teams, how do I not know that? And honestly, regardless of who the team, Andy Reid is kind of a lax coach anyway. He'll let your ass do whatever the hell you want.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
Oh my God!
If you're winning, things are different.
If you're winning, it'll be covered up.
Hey, when you're winning, things are a lot easier, a lot more lax.
If Andy Reid, I was just saying, if Andy Reid can deal with T.O., he can deal with Le'Veon Bell.
How do you deal with T.O.?
I'm saying, if he could tolerate that type of foolishness that took place between T.O. and Donovan McNabb, you remember those years when T.O. was just the ultimate distraction. If he could deal with that crazy, that's the max. Le'Veon Bell, I don't think he's no T.O. He's not going to, get to a point where he's fighting people on the sideline. You see what I mean? Or getting in the quarterback.
I'm saying he's going to be like perfect example right here. I think he's going to be selfish. And being selfish in that offense isn't healthy for that offense. We didn't see a running back emerge until late in the playoffs with that team last year. And I know they had a bunch of injuries, but that team could do it without Le'Veon. That's my point. And if it becomes that Le'Veon is just a luxury piece, it's not. What's the difference? I'm winning, so I'm just going to be here. So now you're blowing money on a running back as a luxury piece. We seen all around the league that names as a running back are starting to fade. Big popular names, the number one back, those are fading. And you got a struggling rookie running back in a depleted running back room. So now you just got one guy. That guy needs to be the guy. I don't know if he's going to be.
So, Ivan, here's my question. Have the Chiefs gotten better or have they gotten worse?
I don't know yet.
You better give me whatever the hell you're drinking in that coffee, bro.
I feel like Michael Jordan looking at GP when GP was talking.
They're undefeated, and they're the best team in the league.
They're not undefeated. First of all, they're not undefeated.
They're the same team. They're the same team as they would have been with this running back. They're just. I need to see Le'Veon run.
Would the Bears have gotten better with Le'Veon Bell?
The Jets are significantly worse without Le'Veon Bell.
He asked the question: would the Bears be better with Le'Veon Bell?
I don't know.
No
You're
comment.
gonna have to get off.
No comment.
Dude, you can't do this nonsense. I don't know. This guy's 28 years old. He's in the middle of his prime.
We're talking about an offense that favors certain specific type of players. So if Lamar Miller fits that offense, if he takes up the Tariq Cohen role, and Lamar Miller's a former All-Pro, he's just had injuries. If they use him in a condensed role, and Lamar Miller's successful, taking up the slack, he's not Tariq, but taking up the slack, I would take a former Pro Bowler who's gonna join a rotation and help us win a Super Bowl over a guy who's gonna demand carries. I don't know.
You can't demand carries, dude. You can't demand carries at $1 million a year. You can't demand. He's not going to demand carry. You don't get to come to a defending Super Bowl champion team and demand carries. You don't get to do that. Okay, that's not what you do. What he's doing, he's ring chasing, and what he's doing, he's trying to get a ring, and he's trying to showcase himself for the end of the season when he's trying to get one more contract before his 30th birthday. That's what he's doing. So if he comes, hold on. So if he goes and he acts an ass on a defending Super Bowl champion team, you think he's going to get people are going to give him the money he wants? Hell no. Because you're 29 years old. You're going to be 29 years old. Hold on. He's at a different stage now than he was a couple of years ago when he signed with the Jets. He's at 28 years old. Next year he'll be 29. And you just mentioned, as we both know, that 30-year-old mark is when they come down. No one's going to want to pay you. He's got to play nice, and he's got to do well. So he can get one more contract. It won't be as big as you want, but
they keep paying Adrian Peterson. They pay for a durable older running back, and that's what he's becoming. And if he doesn't stick with this team, if he becomes a distraction, becomes a me player, it's going to be a problem for the Chiefs. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what player we're going to get.
They're going to cut him if he starts acting crazy. He knows to behave himself when he shows up to that locker room because the Chiefs are world champs. They don't got time for playing games.
They don't need him.
And then Patrick Mahomes
got smacked down by the Oakland Raiders and realized
but Oakland and Kansas City are longtime rivals. You know how your rivals gonna play.
Yeah, those records across the window, bro.
You don't know each other play for play. They AFC. That is the AFC. Actually, they helped founded the AFC. Oakland and Kansas City. What I'm saying is that at the end of the day, they just got better. Okay. And I know you may not believe me, you may not believe Shawn, but they have got better. Just like the Bears would have gotten better if we would have added Le'Veon Bell to that backfield. But
how do you know we haven't gotten better with Lamar Miller?
What'd you say?
How do we know we haven't gotten better with Lamar Miller?
No one said we didn't. No one said we didn't.
Like I said, for me,
no one said we didn't.
This Le'Veon Bell thing it happened after the fact that we just picked up Lamar Miller, expecting him to take up that role with Tariq Cohen. Why would we go ahead and try to even trading for him? The Jets would have asked
why did the Cubs fire? Why did
they ask for our firstborn? They would have asked for a firstborn. The harvest. They would have asked for everything.
It's kind of like the Billy Donovan and Doc Rivers thing. Like if Doc Rivers would have got fired before we hired Billy Donovan, we would have hired Doc Rivers as our next head coach. He would have fit the perfect description. A Chicagoan guy. He has a championship on his belt. Billy Donovan wasn't better than Doc Rivers. So what I'm saying is that we took the next best thing. And that's what happened with this Lamar Miller thing. We jumped too early versus waiting for one more.
No, we didn't jump too early. We didn't jump too early.
Let me say this. I don't mean to say jump too early because they had to make a move for Tariq Cohen. Yeah. What I'm saying is that it's bear timing as always. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a bear occurrence, like a Cubby occurrence, like we got and we always miss that great player by like 1 week. It's something like this always happens to Chicago, and we've been put in these type of conundrums for plenty of years, So I'm tired of it. We should have traded for him. What is $8 million? What is $8 million to the Bears? They got $8 million.
No. The Jets would have wanted your life. The Jets would have wanted Soldier Field. They would have wanted. They would have wanted Grant Park. You know what I'm saying? They would have wanted like every firstborn in the city of Chicago. They would have asked for everything for Le'Veon Bell. Like trading him was not an option. My whole thing is I think Le'Veon in our locker room. I don't know how he's going to be in Kansas City. I think Le'Veon in our locker room would have been cancerous.
We got Nick.
Dude, stop being a Chicago Cub fan, dude. Everything's always negative with you Cub fans.
Nick Foles.
Stop being negative with your Cub fan. Well, listen,
I think he's cancerous. I think he's cancerous.
It all depends on what locker room you come in. And Nagy wasn't
having from a Steelers locker room, a Mike Tomlin-led locker room, and you're telling me that he's not selfish? Mike Tomlin, he's probably top 3 coaches in the league.
This has nothing to do with Mike Tomlin.
We never said that Le'Veon Bell wasn't selfish. We saying that this is the game that he's playing. What I'm saying is
he was the number 1 running back in the league, and he was not being paid as the number 1 running back in the league. He wanted his money. It had nothing to do with Mike Tomlin and the Mike Tomlin at offense. This is the NFL, stands for not for long. And when you're the star that he is, or that he was when he was in Pittsburgh, you need to get your money. They didn't want to give him his money, and so he said, "Hey, listen, I need my money because 1 knee injury, 1 back injury. You saw what happened to Johnny Knox. 1 crazy freak injury, and I don't have my money. My career's over, and I'm the best running back in the league, and I'm not compensated for it. No, he deserved to be paid what he was, almost 400 touches, and he's a phenomenal running back. He's a phenomenal receiver out of the backfield, and it had nothing to do with the Pittsburgh Steelers, his teammates. It had to do with the organization. I wanted to get paid." And they wanted to pay Ben Roethlisberger. Listen, we got to take a quick break. And the other side of the break, we're going to have more top of the morning topics. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. The 4-1 Bears on the road this Sunday, taking on the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. Chicago's been off since their 20-19 win over Tampa last Thursday. The 2-2 Panthers have won 2 in a row after being released earlier this week by the New York Jets. Running back Le'Veon Bell set to sign with Kansas City. ESPN's Adam Schefter on what the defending Super Bowl champs offense will look like with their newest addition.
The Chiefs have that dual back threat now where they can use Le'Veon Bell in a lot of different ways, running the ball in the red zone, line him up outside. There's a lot of different things they could do with him.
Bell reportedly signing a 1-year deal with Kansas City. He had also considered signing with Miami and Buffalo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday, baby. It's the weekend, baby. What do you got going this weekend, Joe?
Oh, man. Going to the barber shop, take care of that cut, get that haircut, get it on out the way. We're actually going to be using this weekend to prepare for New York next week. Probably do a little shopping, get some New York gear, some Coming to American gear, like some leather jackets, some scarves, some skull caps. So we can walk on the Brooklyn Bridge and, reenact some scenes from some throwback New York movies from the 90s, little stuff like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, we got a horse and carriage ride planned, man. We're going to have a ball, man. So
you're going to stop at McDonald's? You're going to stop at McDonald's?
Yes. I'm going to see if I can get some photos of it, man. See if we can find it. Where is it located, in Harlem or Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
I think it's Queens, right?
Queens, not Queens. That's hilarious. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, listen, let's the next half of the morning topic. Moving on, the Astros forced a Game 6 with a walk-off by Carlos Correa. Game was tied, and Carlos Correa goes yard. You know what? That's apropos.
I love it
because I don't want them to win. I'm still dismayed at the lack of punishment that they got from Major League Baseball. I think that's bull jive. It's horrible. It's despicable. The fact that they had and this all had to do with money. Because I mean, again, think about what would happen if you go. I mean, think of all the people in Vegas and all the people who had bets and they got the championship stripped from them. You know, what happens to all the people with the money? Are they still world champions? No, people are going to want their money back. They want the money from the casinos, bookies, whoever. So that was a lot of cash that was on the line. That it's just much easier to not give it. Just say, hey, we'll keep it like this. Because I'll tell you what, there would have been a hell of a lot of lawsuits if they're saying, "Oh, I got my money back. They're not the true world champions. You're not the true World Series champions." Okay, well then my what about the Dodger fans? What about all the opposing teams that they played? All the people who had money on them. Crazy. I don't like this team. I can't stand the team that they're so defiant in the fact that they're cheaters. We belong here. No, you don't belong there. All right, you need to be punished. And I can't. I don't think I'll ever like them again, and not just because they did the one thing. For one thing, you're fine. If I can forgive you, but just to be jagoffs like that and be defiant. Oh, we would have won it anyway. No, you wouldn't have. And first, we don't know, but I'll tell you this: you wouldn't have won it. Right. And we don't. And I just think that again, as a competitor, I'd be mad as hell if I knew you stole our playbook, or if I knew if you knew what we were doing. Okay, and that's part of it in baseball. All right, you have to figure out what they're doing. What pitch is coming. When they're just telling you what pitch is coming because of the way they're cheating. Come on, man, that really pissed me off. And that's that pissed me off. And I can't stand the freaking Astros. I will never root for that team ever will I root for that team just because of their defiance after part of it is the lack of discipline, and then their defiance. Bump them, man. Screw them. I hope they lose.
And plus, there's three things that I really don't like about the Astros, and I know that they got away with this season. First of all, they got a break because it was a 60-game season. If there was 162 games, they would have got thrown at 162 times.
Yeah, they would have
throughout the season. So you better be glad the COVID situation took place, because it really kind of allowed a lot of teams just to lay back because of the certainty and the concern about people getting sick. That's the first thing they got away with. Second thing they got away with was just a smack on the hand when it came to the penalty of them cheating. Okay, I looked at Jose Altuve numbers yesterday in the playoffs. Did you see his numbers? Over 55 games, this guy got 18 home runs, 18 homers. Okay, the little guy. Now I know he can hit. Don't get me wrong, but something's telling me, out of those 18 homers, man, come on now. You got to know what's coming, bro. You got to know what's coming. And then last but not least, last night, it just looked like one of those Astros situations where they knew what was coming. I know Carlos Correa, he's a really good player, don't get me wrong, but I still feel a little cheating in the background. I don't know when or how, but they got a system down packed that they know how to hit in the clutch, and they know when the next pitch is coming. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Just like the Milwaukee Brewers, the same thing,
Well, no, they had the system. They had it, and that's why they were so dominant. That's why they won the World Series, but it's fraudulent. It's fraudulent. So too damn bad. And I don't care. I truly despise the Houston Astros and Major League Baseball for not punishing them in a suitable manner. All right, they needed to be made an example of, and they weren't. And I'm done with them. I just hate this freaking team, dude. I do. I just hate this. I do. I really do,
bro. And they talk trash to the Cubs too. I didn't like that too, because after they won,
I don't care about them talking trash. I just hate them. You know what?
I call them cowards when they left the NL Central for the AL. I know it's realignment and everything, but I was like, oh, these some punks.
Yeah, they were. And they talk. Hey, Ivan, remember they talked trash to the Cubs? They was like, after they won their World Series, they like, we're not going to do what the Cubs did and just win one and never return. They're weak. I'm like, what? You guys have cheated your way to the top? We didn't have to cheat. We actually took all our series to a Game 7, so don't go there. And if you ever see y'all in the alley, it's on, baby. No, just joking.
I'm telling you, no, it's that's why they're getting thrown at. That's why they're getting thrown at. And I wish, and I hope next year they get thrown at too. I don't give a damn. I'm sorry. You know what? The lack of contrition that they have for what they did, okay, it is ridiculous, and it hits me to my core. All right, as a competitor, and I have no. I hope they get thrown at. I hope that, you know what, because you need to be knocked off your pedestal, and it's just a shame that Major League Baseball didn't have the balls to do what they should have done. That strip them of the God blessed World Series title. Okay, take that. There's no asterisk. Take that off. Have the World Series championship vacant for that year. Okay, suspend them from postseason play for 2 years, in addition to their messing with their draft picks. No, Major League Baseball didn't do anywhere near as much as they needed to do to punish this team. So bump them. I'm done talking about these stupid bitches, man. I'm pissed. I'm pissed, bro. I just hate those guys. The next top of the morning topic: the Braves beat the Dodgers 10-2 to take a 3-1 lead in the American League Championship Series. Man, Maya was on them jokers. Maya called it. She's like, "Watch these Braves. Watch these Braves." And Kershaw had an inning that he imploded. He's not the same guy. I've been mentioned earlier that you can't take him. You can't keep him in longer than 5. He's good. He's good through 5. He gives you vintage Kershaw through 5. But after that, once he gets through that second time through the order, watch out now. Watch out now.
And I knew Kershaw was in trouble when they showed that Kershaw commercial when he threw the ball down the middle of the ball. They hit the ball into another city almost. You know what I'm saying is that's not good to do a commercial like that while you're in the middle of almost going to the World Series, brother. Because like I said, that Atlanta Braves lineup from top to bottom doesn't fear the Dodgers. They don't fear the Dodgers at all. Like I said, they have a leadoff hitter, they have a number 2 hitter, a number 3 hitter, cleanup hitter, and a situational hitter that can pretty much counter the Dodgers blow for blow. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to take a shot at the Dodgers, but they did come in a little cocky this year. They were still a little upset after the Astros were busted cheating, but they felt that the World Series was going to automatically be handed to them because of that situation, but they didn't realize that there are other teams in the National League that's on the rise, especially the Braves, that'll be a force to be reckoned with for a long time coming.
That's honestly, Joseph, that is hilarious that you mentioned that commercial. It's hilarious. That is a terrible commercial for Clayton.
I know, right?
You gotta go field your own ball. Like, that's terrible. After they just smacked it into 3 other cities, 4 different counties. Like, come on, dude. Like, unbelievable.
Who signed off on that? Who signed off on that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, the next top of the morning topic, oh man, it's a sad note. Hall of Fame defensive lineman Fred Dean passes away yesterday at the age of 68 from the coronavirus. Fred Dean was a stud back in the day. He played with the San Francisco 49ers and San Diego Chargers. Man, this guy was, he was a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champion. He was with the Chargers for 6 seasons before he went to the Niners. And this guy was one of the baddest dudes. One of the baddest dudes on the defensive line back in the early 80s. And, man, our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. Rest in peace, Fred Dean, man.
That's really sad to hear. And then, just a defensive lineman, Hall of Famer, losing his life to the coronavirus just shows you how dangerous this virus is. And it can get anybody at any time. So my prayers and condolences goes out to the Dean family. I pray that God comforts them during this time of bereavement.
This dude was such a bad. It's unfortunate he played in the time he did. His sack numbers, they weren't counted as an official as an official statistic during his time. The Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, credits Dean with 93 unofficial sacks. And they noted that in 1983 he had a 6-sack game. But they weren't being counted at that particular point, and that would have been the most ever until Derek Thomas from the Chiefs said it back in 1990. So, man, he started 83 of 141 games he played in, and
Shawn, I think records like that should be altered. Like you should have. Hey, here's the other list next to the record, but you know what I'm saying? Like here's a list when if you go ahead and account for these sacks, because I feel like you create a stat after guys. I feel like some guys get cheated. You know what I'm saying? Like it sucks. Guys get cheated.
You can go back and look at all the tape and determine whether it's a sack or not, and you can actually give them official sacks. You should, so you can alter that list, because it wasn't a sack then doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Exactly.
It just wasn't called that. So they need to be able to go back.
Right. Also, you can look at it from this way. Like, you remember guys like Deacon Jones, Dick Buckets, and all those guys. First of all, I know Michael Strahan, his claim to fame is I got the sack record, but like you said, they wasn't keeping stats back then. Just imagine how many sacks Deacon Jones acquired and Dick Buckets acquired in the season. I know they surpassed Michael Strahan. So my whole thing is, stats can be overrated sometimes, but they do show proof that you were actually there and that you produced and that you put up the numbers. So unfortunately for Mr. Dean, they wasn't taking the statistic back then, but at the end of the day, we're going to still honor him and give him his due.
Armando Lara writes, Fred Dean was the second coming of Deacon Jones. Yeah, Deacon Jones was a bad man. He was a bad man. He was a bad man.
Here's some forth.
Yeah. Well, the next top of the morning topic, I love it. Jose Abreu was named the Sporting News Major League Baseball Player of the Year.
Okay, Jose.
Ooh, is that a precursor to the AL MVP award? I don't know. I hope so.
Hey,
I hope so. Yeah, I think he deserved it.
I think he does too, and I think he made his mark for that MVP trophy and for that AP Player of the Year award was against the Cubs over that weekend when he hit 6 homers in 3 days. That was it for me. I was like, okay, well, you got my vote, brother. If you could do that, hey, you're unstoppable. Even though we got you back at the end of the year.
Yeah, Armando mentioned that head slap earlier. I know we're on a Brady, but he mentioned that head slap. That was key. If you could concuss somebody at the line of scrimmage and take off to the quarterback, that's huge.
Oh yeah, Deacon Jones, yes sir. But yeah, Jose, man, shout out to him, man. I hope he wins the MVP in the AL.
I do too, but you know what? The award did not stop coming from the Sporting News. Rick Hahn gets the Sporting News Executive of the Year award as well. So the hardware is coming for the White Sox. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the World Series trophy, but there is improvement. Jose gets the MVP award from the Sporting News, and Rick Hahn gets Executive of the Year for the Sporting News. You know what? This is going to get interesting, Joseph. This is going to get real interesting, because the White Sox are looking for a new manager, and one of the names on the list is Tony La Russa. And I don't understand why Tony La Russa's name's on the list. I understand he's a Hall of Fame manager, but he hasn't been in the game in 6, 8 years, 9 years, something like that. And you want to bring him back here now, as after the game is past him. I don't think that's a good call. And what it's gonna tell me and tell Sox fans is this: if Tony La Russa gets hired as the manager, then it tells me that's not Rick Hahn's call. That tells me that Rick Hahn, that this came from above Rick Hahn's pay grade. And if that's the case, I be careful, because you know what, Rick Hahn may decide to resign.
Ooh.
I would you know what, I would do that if I were Rick. say, wait, you let me put this team together, and I fired the man, or we mutually agreed to part ways with the manager. But then I can't pick the new manager. You're bringing a guy in because everything Rick said, he wants to talk. He wants playoff experience. Okay, I know La Russa has that. He's got a couple ships in his pocket, but he needs to be able to relate to he's recent playoff success. That's not Tony La Russa. Tony La Russa hasn't been in the game in 8-9 years.
Right. He's been off. He's a granddaddy, right? He's a grandfather.
Yeah. Shawn, I would expect him to resign if that were the case, and I think you're spot on. This would be all meddling. This would be all Reinsdorf's fingerprints would be all over this thing. Tony La Russa, I think, is just a smokescreen, just to keep the Sox hot. Like, this job's going to be in high demand, if you will. Let's say because they already have a candidate. I think they're already looking. They're looking ahead to when the season's over and Alex Cora and AJ Hinch become free, if you will. You know what I'm saying? And then they're able to go ahead and sign one of them. It is what it is with the whole cheating thing, but they're able to go ahead and sign one of them. And I think a guy like Alex Cora is well better fit, or even AJ Hinch. But I would like Alex Cora just because
the White Sox don't want anybody related to the 1919.
Alex Cora's he's played with AJ Hinch. He's managed. I've not played with it. He's managed with AJ Hinch. He's managed. He's helped coach. He was on the bench with Dallas Keuchel when Dallas Keuchel was there. He knows these guys a little more, but I just think AJ might be in a little more trouble than like Alex because it's the Astros, and it seems like everybody forgot that the Red Sox cheated as well. So I think Alex Cora is more of a this is the other guy that cheated that you don't really know, because as soon as you mention ex-Astros manager, everything's gonna blow up in your face. But I think if a lot of people, the people that do know that the Red Sox cheated, will remember it. But I think Alex Cora fits just because it's quieter. As soon as you mention the Astros, I think you're gonna have some problems.
But I don't think the Sox want to be associating themselves with anything that has to do with cheating, especially after overcoming the 1919 White Sox scandal. And I don't think they ever want to go that route again, because when you think of the White Sox, and I'm not trying to take shots at the White Sox, but I'm
not trying to take shots, but I will.
But that's synonymous with cheating. So you don't want that. You see what I mean? You don't want that record with neither of those managers. If I was the White Sox, I'll go get a Sandy Alomar, give him a chance to manage. I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know if you want Sandy. Like, do you guys want Sandy, Shawn?
But what are you going to do if he decides to stay in Cleveland? Because Tito's not doing well health-wise, and so he in Cleveland would be his dream job. So he stays in Cleveland. He's taking himself out of the market.
Go get Ozzy, man. Y'all need to make
I'm telling you. I'm telling
Alex Cora. I think Alex Cora will fit.
I don't even mind.
Unless you want AJ Hinch because the Astros are young and the Sox have those similarities of young stud players that are ready to win now. I could see an AJ Hinch for those reasons. I would just but
I'm okay with Bruce Bochy.
Alex Cora would demand that type of respect that I think that you would get.
I don't think he would.
They don't want Alex. They don't want Alex, brother.
I don't think he demanded respect. I think he has some respect, but I don't think he's going to demand the highest amount of respect. I'll tell you what. I'm okay with Bruce Bochy. I'm okay with Bruce Bochy. All right, this guy has managed the closest thing to a dynasty that has been a baseball dynasty in recent years. All right, in 10, 12, and 14. I think this guy is, the language barrier is going to be the issue, but you get interpreters. They got Billy over there, so they're fine. But I think that this, if it's not Alex Cora, then again, Bruce Bochy, I'm good with it. I'm cool with it. So
yeah, they need to clean that up with Ozzy. They came out too soon and disqualified Ozzy. They should have just said, you know what, we're gonna do just like the Yankees did Billy Martin. We're gonna give him a second chance because. Yes, it was very entertaining. Yes, he was very controversial, but he's more calmer Ozzy now. And
he's Grandpa Ozzy now, definitely.
Grandpa Ozzy, right? He's mellowed out. So what better way than to bring back one of Chicago's favorite sons and lead us back to the championship?
Yeah, I would have liked it too. Well, listen, we got a couple more. The next top of the morning topic: Nick Saban, University of Alabama head coach, tests positive for the coronavirus. When he showed no symptoms, he said when he received the positive test results that he left the facility immediately, went home and quarantined. Wow. So he's Steve Sarkisian, former USC coach, who's the offensive coordinator. He's going to be running things, and Nick Saban will be there via remotely. So I see them having a big ass camera or a big ass TV with his face on it, and he's going to be able to watch practice from his house at every single camera they have on. Because if you know anything about Nick Saban, that dude controls everything. So they're going to have cameras at every single group of position players, and he's going to be barking orders from quarantine.
Yes, Nick Saban is the king of micromanaging. He's the king of authoritarian dictatorship, throwback coaches, where he pays attention to everything, as far as just from the offensive line to the defensive line to what's being called. Nothing get past Nicky. But I hope he gets better. I hope he heals up. And at the end of the day, as always, this team will be in the top 10 competing for a national championship before the season is over.
Yeah, it will. Well, listen, we got to take a break. Hey, Joseph, thank you, Papa. We will see you on Monday. We got to take a break because on the other side of the break, you're going to the baton is going to be passed to our guy, Kenneth Davis. And Ken and I are going to welcome our first guest, Tab Bamford, Major League Baseball and NHL columnist. And we're going to continue this baseball talk. And we're going to talk about, and I'm loving his hat. Yeah. I'm loving that hat, baby. I love it. Talk a little more baseball.
Peace out.
Have a great weekend, all right, Papa?
All right, God bless.
All right, guys, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, just like I said, Kenneth Davis joins me for the next hour, and we're going to welcome Tab Bamford and talk a little baseball. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. The 4-1 Bears on the road this Sunday, taking on the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. Chicago's been off since their 20-19 win over Tampa last Thursday. The 2-2 Panthers have won 2 in a row after being released earlier this week by the New York Jets. Running back Le'Veon Bell set to sign with Kansas City. ESPN's Adam Schefter on what the defending Super Bowl champs offense will look like with their newest addition.
The Chiefs have that dual back threat now where they can use Le'Veon Bell in a lot of different ways, running the ball in the red zone, line him up outside. There's a lot of different things they could do with him.
Bell reportedly signing a 1-year deal with Kansas City. He had also considered signing with Miami and Buffalo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 833-8ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. It's not your first rodeo, huh? All right, good to see. Good to see. Just confirming, making sure, dotting every I, crossing every T. Calmate, Boricua. Want to bring in my man. He's gonna carry the baton and roll with me for the next hour. Man, he is the host of that Davis show, and you can find him on Twitter at That's Davis. Guys, let's bring him in. Ken Davis. Kenneth, what's up, Papa?
Hey, what's going on? Been wanting to talk to you for a few days, to say the least. You've been on my mind. And I just heard Joseph talking about what I wanted to talk to you about, since me and you have had this discussion. That's one of it. Ivan, that was the cake Monday. All right. I know we got Tam coming on, but real quick, that was the cake. But was the cherry that was on top of it was when Rick Hahn said, Ozzy's not even involved in this. Listen, guys, you can date people that you didn't go to high school with. It's a big world out here. Experience it. You don't have to go back to these old girls that you knew back in the days. Get with the new ladies out here that went to university someplace. A guy that does analytics, a handsome AJ Hinch. There's people out here that you can get your hands on. You don't have to say, I loved her in 87. Let me bring her back in 2020. That's all I want to play. So when Rick Hahn said, Ozzy's not in, and I'll tell you why when Joseph said they did him wrong. If they would have let Ozzy, even though they didn't want him, be in the competition, fans would have drum rolled that so hard. You had to stop that at the beginning because that's not what they needed. And I told you that. The liability, the analytics, everything that you need now, there's no reason to go back in the days, get someone from this time to coach this team. I get it. I love him too. They made a great decision in not bringing Ozzy back. That's all I want to say. And I've been telling you that for months. That's all I want to say.
Well, I respectfully disagree because Ozzy is one of the guys as far as analytics. Ozzy was in the forefront of that stuff, dude. And so when people talk about, well, he's old school, yeah, he's old school, but he was one of the first guys to involve analytics. If you listen with our conversation with Ozzy Jr., Ozzy's like, dude, because my dad, we were sitting in seminars. He goes, we're sitting in seminars listening to analytics, and Ozzy has adopted this. It's just a lot of times you don't think that because he's so fiery, because he's a character. How many managers do we know are characters? Not very many. He was very animated.
That's part of the reason, Shawn.
You know what? He's more mellow. He's Grandpa Ozzy now. He's got one. He got two of them. He's Grandpa Ozzy.
We still have him in the fold. We still get to sit there and be entertained by Ozzy. Why do we have to go back to that? I mean, it would be.
I'll tell you why. Because you know the girl you dated in high school, and she was nice and slender and a little skinny and everything. She done filled out now.
Yeah, that's what too. Now she got 4 kids too, and 3 of them are teenagers ready to hit you upside your head. I'm good on that. Let it go out of the way.
Oh man, you are a damn fool, Ken. That's good stuff.
You too.
Yes, I am, Doctor. Yes, I am. Hey, our next guest, man, he's probably laughing at us like a fool. That's okay, because if you can't laugh at yourself, man, what the hell? What's going on? Hey, we're going to talk to this guy. He's a Major League Baseball and NHL columnist. You can find him on Twitter at @the1. That's the number 1 at the 1 tab. Guys, let's bring him on for the first time, I believe, to Shawn and Maya. Tab Bamford. Tab, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Man, life is good, man, but there is so much to digest with the Ozzy talk, with what's going on around baseball. Ken, I love what you're saying, man, but when you look at the whole idea of not going back to what you had, this is, using Shawn's analogy of the girl you dated in high school, this is turning 40 and going back for Stacy's mom because you think she's still got it going on. You're worried about old school and you're going to Tony La Russa? La Russa managed Ozzy when he was a rookie player. If Ozzy's too old school, don't go get his grandpa. Okay? Like, it's one thing if you want to go analytics, if you want to go younger, if you want somebody that's got experience, like, fine, I get it. But, man, I mean, you're talking you don't want Ozzy because you're turning back the clock, but then you go Tony La Russa? Like, did they have to wait for Hawk to retire so Hawk couldn't fire him again?
He'll fire him from the booth.
Exactly.
What are we doing here? So
in Indiana, he's gonna fire him.
You know what, Tab? here's the thing. What do you think about this? I think that's a smokescreen with Tony La Russa, because you know what? It's 162 games. That's a grind, because we anticipate next year being a normal season. All right, so that's a grind. Tony La Russa is a 77-year-old man. Come on, dude. That's a long grind to be away from your family. He doesn't live in Chicago, so he's going to be so the whole time he's going to be away. It's not like his family lives here and he can go home to them, or at least to his wife, on home games. We're talking a good 6 to 7 months away, on Arizona for a month and a half, 2 months, and then the whole season, and plus the grind. That's not something that a guy his age, I think, is willing to do. Especially, he's comfy. He's a Hall of Famer. He's retired. He can do whatever he wants, and then to come back here and be away. What are your thoughts on this? Because I'm thinking it's a smokescreen while the White Sox really do something else. The David Copperfield, look over here, while they're doing something over here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dude that's in the Hall of Fame. He retired and went to he was in Boston for a little bit as an advisor, but he's been in Arizona as an advisor. That's full-blown retired and still getting a check. So, like, going from being an advisor with no responsibility, not answering questions from media, you've removed yourself from having any responsibility and having to make those decisions and being held accountable for those decisions. In Arizona, again, let's remember Arizona. That's not like, let's talk the grind. Let's talk about having to be at the ballpark for 7 hours in April in Chicago. Okay. Like, you're not like sharing a couple text messages with a GM before you light a cigar in the 9th hole right now. This is a grind, and weather is not going to be pretty. So yeah, I think for me, if they think Tony La Russa is going to be the guy that takes him over the top, God bless. But I mean, that feels like the Bulls trying to go hire Doug Collins back, to be completely
exactly.
But at the same time, again, he's been an advisor with Boston when they were on top, and then he went to Arizona, which is a different situation. They're cultivating a young group and kind of starting that post Goldschmidt rebuild. So he's got that mix of having been a Hall of Fame caliber manager and kind of having that advisory role with the front office. So if you're going to bring him in as a sounding board to begin your interview process with, okay, Tony, you've been a fiery manager. You've dealt with some crazy personalities. I mean, Ozzie wasn't what we know Ozzie to be today when he was a rookie player, but let's not forget, he went and dealt with that whole McGuire, Henderson, Canseco circus in Oakland. So he's been around a lot. He's seen a lot of talent. He had Pujols when he was in St. Louis. So he knows how to deal with alphas in the room. He knows how to deal with sideshows. He knows how to be around posses. He knows how to deal with all of that. But at the same time, he's been around the game long enough that if you want to have an honest conversation with a Hall of Famer about, if we bring AJ Hinch in, what are we getting our hands on? Because yes, I mean, he won a World Series. He got suspended for a year because he apparently didn't do enough to stop the I don't want to work, I want to bang on the drum all day offense. But the sideshow with him is going to be, so many Sox fans, if you go on Twitter, Astros cheat. Well, are you hiring the guy that was the ringleader of that, or a guy that was associated with that? And how's the fan base? You know, Ken talked about the fan base was going to be all over Ozzie and wanting Ozzie to be the guy, and you were going to groundswell for Ozzie. Well, the fan base has been pretty adamant that they want nothing to do with the Astros, and this guy won a World Series managing the Astros. So if you bring Tony La Russa in as a soundboard to gauge, okay, do we want to deal with that PR headache? What are we going to have to answer for? And Tony, who are some of the other folks in the game that you think that we should be reaching out to? I know that they want experience. I don't think you have to go to a guy like a Buck Showalter or a Tony La Russa to get guys that have good experience, but are going to be able to connect with these guys. There's a lot of really good young and middle-aged candidates that have cut their teeth and are ready to go, that fans should be excited about having come run this team, because there should be World Series expectations. Not even a question. I mean, they were a good team that played a good Oakland team hard in that playoff series, and they didn't have Kopech, and their guys were pretty beat up in a couple places. So
was suffering.
Yeah. So I if they want to hire La Russa, I've got huge questions. If they want to bring him in as a sounding board to gauge some other candidates or what they might be getting themselves into, ask him if they should even interview Hinch. The fact that they haven't brought his name up, to me, says that they're doing some intel and doing their due diligence on whether or not they want to open Pandora's box with that and all the baggage that comes with it from the Astros. So, but it's fascinating that he'd be the guy they'd go to because he's been out of managing for so long. It's so random that nothing about it makes sense.
Wait. I don't want Stacy's mom, Stacy, little sister. I want. Guess what? When I was with Stacy, I had enough back in those days. All right.
You're not cutting your grass anymore. All right.
Yeah, I pay people to do that now. I'm not coming back. I'm not going back. And again, I have an affinity for Oz again. But let me get to the Tony La Russa part. I agree with you, Shawn. It's a smokescreen. But Tab, I do think you're right that this is one of those things that you usually hear modern front offices say, that we bring in a lot of people to find out the things that necessarily we don't know in-house and how we need to sit there and go about business moving forward. So I do think that, and also I think they put his name out there because of AJ Hinch. And I don't even know, and when you're saying, Tab, about can you say AJ Hinch, I don't know if you can even say that until the World Series is over. So you can't. You can't say anything until the suspension is done. So you have to wait. Listen, Sox fans, love you to death. Sometimes we don't know what we need. So I go to the doctor sometimes. I went to the doctor years back. You know what he told me? I needed a colonoscopy. Do you think I wanted that?
No.
I got it, though.
Hey,
people you do that.
I'm just saying, hey, you want to live, all right?
Yeah.
You want to live. So, not even to stop the joking or whatever. Listen, I understand that AJ Hinch and Alex Cora cheated. And I'm not belittling it by any means. But thanks to that cheating, there's a wonderful opportunity for this team that's on the cusp. Yeah, that's cool too. There's a wonderful opportunity for a team that's on the cusp to get a top 3 manager, and you can infuse that with this team. It just makes sense. Like, again, guys, and I know we all love baseball. It didn't happen on our set, on our watch. I was in Houston, all right? Let Houston's business be Houston's business, all right? I'm not the Dodgers. They didn't put me out the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a situation where they did me a disservice, all right? I know they broke baseball's code, but half the people that sit there and rally against them and breaking the code want Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. And I think Pete Rose did worse, all right? So whatever with all that. Bring me AJ Hinch and sit him in my managerial chair. All right. Let him take this team to 100+ wins several seasons in a row. And think about how many opportunities we get to bite on the apple. Let's stop playing games here. Like, that was the thing about not doing Ozzie. Shawn, even going with you, and you know how I'll talk about Ozzie. I don't even think he gets credit for some of his gut reactions. And I do think your manager needs to add that to analytics at some point. I'm not saying let's all be math wizards 24/7. I think Ozzie did some genius things when he was going hot. My thing was, we can't get into the little turmoil thing because this isn't that team. And also, I don't think this team needs their manager to be their face. Those old Sox teams outside of AJ, they were bland, basically. And Frank was gone. He only played part of that World Championship season. So, because he could be kind of riled up, and he was out. So all you had was Paulie and the laid-back crew for the most part. So, and I'm not dissing it. I think it was good for them to have Ozzie. This team doesn't need that. They got crazies. I mean, in a good way. They got guys that can be the face of this organization. You don't need your manager to do that and to kind of cover up for the lackadaisical. I'm not saying they're being lackadaisical in their work ethic, but just in being someone that can sell themselves to the fan or whatsoever. So that's my only thing. But yeah,
the lack of star power.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Shawn. We don't. From all three of us know it's more star power, and I'm not even saying this in a bad way, than we need. All right, like it's dude.
It's abundance of riches, dude.
Even if we're talking about, and this used to be the biggest problem with the Sox. They had good pitching, but they never could do everyday players. We could never, nothing from our farm system, from Borchert to Jeremy Reed. Remember these guys that were supposed to be so good? You don't want to trade Jeremy Reed? No. And what did Jeremy Reed end up doing? Nothing. So even their valued picks were trash for the most part. So now you actually got crazy great everyday players. But dude, look, we haven't even talked about how young that bullpen is. And look, I mean, just the fact that you have so much talent, you need the best evaluator of that talent to lead this team moving forward. And I feel like that's AJ Hinch. And I understand people not liking him, but listen, give him to me all day. All right, no pause, but give him to me all day. That's all I got to say. I'll step back and reset the show.
But with that too, like, and what I love about Hinch and the roster that he had in Houston is there's so many comps to what they have with the White Sox right now. He had a brash, outspoken shortstop from Puerto Rico named Carlos Correa, who was out there flexing. I mean, we saw it last night with the walk-off.
Yep.
Very, very similar to what you've got in a guy like Tim Anderson. Like, you've got a Cuban first baseman who just goes about his business in Gurriel. Well, he's friends with Jose Abreu. Abreu drops lunch off for him when Houston's here without crib notes. But like you've got the Houston Astros were a multicultural team that had a lot of star power and a lot of talent, and he got those personalities to mesh, and he got the most out of them. If the Sox don't want the fiasco of bringing a guy out of suspension, there's some other guys that I think can also work in that environment and handle a multicultural team. If you're in love with the idea of someone that White Sox fans recognize and who understands what White Sox is, Sandy Alomar Jr. played here for how long? And he's been on Tito Francona's staff for how long? I mean, this is a dude who's bilingual, who the whole game respects. They love him to death. And the dude's ready to go. When he was in the World Series 4 years ago against the Cubs. And he managed the Indians in the playoffs this year because Francona was out. So there are some other guys that I think should absolutely get an interview. I wouldn't just lock it down on Hinch and call it a day, because at the end of the day, when you look at what some of the guys on Houston's team are doing right now, there's no question that the Astros benefited from what they were doing. And so while, yes, A.J. Hinch managed those personalities and got the most out of them, I do have some questions way back here in my brain about, like, Alex Bregman's got a 696 OPS this postseason. He dominated in those playoffs. Like, how much is what we know of A.J. Hinch's success aided by the fact that they were cheating? And would he have won if he didn't win a World Series? Are we all like banging the drum for this dude to be the manager of the White Sox? Right? No, exactly. No, absolutely intended. Don't get me wrong, Shawn. But no, if they lose that World Series to the Dodgers, is he the first guy in line still? Like that's the rock in the hard place with A.J. Hinch. Is he's got a resume, but how much of that resume are we lockstep buying as him being the guy to take them out? So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I do think, going back to the La Russa thing, I can't buy into him being the guy. I think he's too old. He's been out of the game long enough from a manager perspective, to Shawn's point about him being a guy that's going to jump into the daily grind. I've got to wait until after the World Series and then open it up and go talk to guys like Ron Washington and Sandy Alomar Jr. too. And Hensley Mullins with the Mets. That's my guy. That's who I want the Sox to go get. But there are options out there. Let's not have a guy hired by Halloween just because you feel like you got to fill a void.
Guys, we're joined by Tab Benford. He is a Major League Baseball columnist. We're talking a little baseball right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Yeah, you know what? I do think it's, you can't mention those names because of the suspension, so that's fine. And I just think there's, like, you know what, for a goof, let's just throw everybody a loop and just bring, let's just go fuck with everybody. You know what? Why not? Why not? If we had a good season, let's just continue. Why not? And if that's what they're doing, then I think that's great. I don't know about Sandy Alomar. He may want to stay. Cleveland, I think it might be his dream job. And if Tito steps down because of his health, I think he's a perfect fit for that. I would love Sandy here.
Too.
Love him. But either Hinch or Cora, I'm cool with. I mean, even Bruce Bochy. I mean, give me winners. All right, you give me a championship coach with this young championship caliber team. That's what we need. And so we're going to have our pick of the litter. People are going to want to come here. There's going to, we don't know what other teams are going to mutually part ways like we did. So we don't know who else is going to be out there. But yeah,
that's a good point, Shawn, because one of the things that I think might be weighing on the White Sox front office right now is at this moment on October 16th, the White Sox job is the best job, without question, in Major League Baseball.
Until the Dodgers get knocked out.
Bingo. If Atlanta finishes the job and Dave Roberts gets run, Sox fans have to think, do we want Dave Roberts? The dude's done nothing but win division titles. He's been to multiple World Series. Do we want that guy? But the Dodgers job, I think, because it's LA, it's one of the crown jewel franchises of Major League Baseball. maybe the White Sox are thinking if the Dodgers job comes open, we're going to be second fiddle for a lot of people. And so they're trying to get the jump on it now and not wait for the Dodgers job to come open if they lose. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. The White Sox are the best job right now. The Dodgers job might trump them, and that could be a problem if you really want to go get a Hinch. Hinch might say, Andrew Friedman, analytics guy, came out of Tampa. Like, I want to go play with Microsoft Excel between innings. That might be more where he's in line with going. So it is interesting that right now the Sox is the best job, but we have to keep that in mind.
I'll say this as being the person here from the brother delegation. As a Sox fan, no, I don't want Dave Roberts. You know, like I'm good. I don't want Marty Schottenheimer. All right, and I mean I'm good out for the guy that like he can kind of get you there. He's did better than Marty did. Marty wasn't taking the Kansas City Chiefs to the Super Bowl or the San Diego Chargers.
Give me some Marv Levy.
Yeah, dude, exact. That's it, right? You nailed it right there.
And he
right?
lives here in Chicago. Let's go call Marv Levy right now.
Went to my neighborhood high school to let you know how, from White Flight how it used. Bart Levy went to South Shore High School, which was like sidewalk high in the 90s. It was better than what you thought, but it was like lean on me. You didn't want to go there back then. All right. But I don't want Marv Levy going 4 straight years. Like, remember being kids and Buffalo when he was like, not again. After the first 2 times, he was like, not again, man. I don't want to see Buffalo in the Super Bowl anymore. No, I don't want Dave Roberts because of that. Now, I'll tell you this. If 1 through 4 doesn't want to come here, so let's just say AJ Hinch, Alex Cora, Sandy Alomar. I feel exactly the same way that both of you feel about Sandy Alomar Tab. He's high on my list. I've had affinity for him for years. Listen, I wish he was a backstabber and would have been the bench coach for Robert Ventura, right? I wish, but it tells you the type of man he is. But what Shawn said is right. It makes no sense to leave. And the thing is, to be honest with you, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused with Washington and their slurs. But the Cleveland baseball team is what I'm saying. Yeah. The Cleveland baseball team, they should go ahead and Mike Martz it. And I know I'm doing a lot of baseball and football stuff, but they may as well Dick Vermeil, Mike Martz it and be like, listen, here's the contract. You're the next manager, because there's no reason to let Sandy get out of there, man, because that should be the premium job. But if they're going to stick with Tito for one more season, man, listen, I actually put Sandy above Alex Cora. And I know Alex Cora actually has a World Series rank with the Red Sox, and that's not easy to do. I got something. I got feelings in my heart for Sandy. So then I'll tell you this. Then I'll be leaving with my emotions instead of trying to leave with my analytics in my brain with AJ. But yeah, I would love for Sandy to come here. But again, my key thing would be AJ. But like you said, Tab, and it's not a knock, dude. The market's better than Chicago and LA, and it's a blue blood franchise. All right, it's really the second one. All right, after the Yankees, it's the Dodgers. And then you can put the Cards and the Cubs and the Braves and all those other teams out there in the Cincinnati, perhaps, where you fit them at. But this isn't like the late 70s or whatever. But it's if that's the fear for me as a Sox fan, is the Dodgers, because it's like, listen, AJ Hinch would just have to want to come here. You know what I'm saying? Like he would just have to have a feeling. And what you brought up about Friedman. Dude, it common sense would tell you to go over there. I hate to say it or whatever, because it's proven over there, even though they haven't really won it all, but they've been right there. And the money is right behind you. They're going to spend whatever they need to spend. So that's my only fear as far as.
And they got Mookie locked up long term.
Like I was thinking out of my head, like,
like you're going somewhere with Mookie. The one thing that I'll say about, and I do agree that I think Cleveland is Sandy's dream job, and I think that he's being groomed as the heir apparent to Tito. But if he gets the option to go to Chicago right now, he's in that division. He knows what's up. He knows the landscape. He knows that Josh Donaldson and Nelson Cruz aren't getting younger in Minnesota. And Jose Barrios, I love the dude. I'd give anything for him to be playing with his brother-in-law on the north side of Chicago. But, I mean, let's be real. He's a better version of Jose Quintana. The dude always finds a way with incredible stuff to be like a 13-game winner. The White Sox are going to be the alpha in that division for a while. And if you're Sandy Alomar, do you want to be the guy that his first job as the guy on a bench is post-Francisco Lindor Cleveland? Because let's be real, like Lindor's either going to get traded this offseason at the deadline next year, or he's walking as a free agent. So that's the one thing that the Sox have got going for him is these jobs don't come around every day. And we know that Latino guys don't get as many opportunities as they should.
Correct.
Everyone of color doesn't get as many jobs as they should. Would he want to have his first gig be somewhere that he could go to a plug and play, ready to go, diverse group of guys that are ready to take that thing over for the next 5 years? And that's how they should position it. They should be like, you want to handle the rebuild, and you want to be Ricky Renteria and be the guy that babysits a really nice young group of folks in Cleveland after Frankie leaves, or you want to come over here and win a title? And I think that's a tough question that Sandy would have to answer to himself. But again, the other guy that I keep banging the drum for, again, no Astros reference here, Hensley Mullins, the hitting coach for the Mets. This dude's cut his teeth everywhere. He knows every kid from Curacao. This dude speaks a half dozen languages. Everyone in the game respects the heck out of him. He managed the Netherlands team in the World Baseball Classic, which is all your kids from Curacao, your Didis, your Ozzy Albies. Like he'd be a guy for me that doesn't have full-blown managerial experience, who's been on the cusp for a number of years, that I would absolutely go talk to him. Because if you bring in a hitting savant with the offensive potential that you have, if there's a next level for guys like Tim Anderson and Eloy, sign me up for that. So, but there are other guys. I think that they've got a lot of folks that they can talk to still, but I think they need to not wait around for AJ Hinch. I think they need to talk to everyone and figure out if Hinch is the guy by process of elimination, and not wait for the Dodgers to make that decision for him.
Guys, we're joined by Tab Benford. He is a Major League Baseball columnist, talking baseball right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. Yeah, you know what? I still think, and I know the Dodgers are that, franchise, but this White Sox team, the potential here is through the roof. It is through the roof. What manager wouldn't want to come here? And again, I know what you got over there in LA, but what manager wouldn't want to come and put his stamp on this young team? Because their window is just open now. It was open this year, probably maybe a year early. Okay, but nonetheless, it's open. It is wide the freak open. There might not even be a window in there. That's how open that is. And you come in and you have a shot, to take it. And I think it's going to be, even if the Dodgers job comes around and that may become a little prettier one, I still think the White Sox job is sexier. There's a big difference between pretty and sexy. And sometimes sexier is a little more attractive than pretty. And
you know what, Shawn? The pressure is going to be different in Chicago.
Much different.
You're hoping to win a World Series. You think you've got the talent to win the World Series. LA, second biggest market in Major League Baseball, and the expectation is World Series. You don't win it in 2 years before Kershaw hangs him up, you're done. Like, you have to win year one. If you get to the ALCS in the first year with the White Sox, baby steps, right? Mm-hmm. Like Joel Quenneville with the Blackhawks. He got into the Western Conference final year one. By the way, today's the anniversary of Quenneville being named the Blackhawks head coach. Ding. But Quenneville came in, established guy, took him to the conference final, figured out what it took to win. Then he took him over the hump and they became a dynasty. In LA, you're going into like the 1997 Red Wings full of Hall of Famers. And you're like, that's it. You got to, if we don't have a parade in 2 years, you're out and we're finding somebody else. So that pressure element is definitely different. You're right, Shawn. I think because of that, the Sox are going to stay sexy, but I wouldn't want to get in the ring and box against the Dodgers over candidates because they're probably going to pay more. And again, the pedigree there, it's easier to think World Series or bust in LA than Chicago. So I do believe that the White Sox should get after it now while the Dodgers are still playing and try and decide who they want or decide if they have to go get Hinch because by process of elimination, he's their best bet.
So talk to me about this this award that Jose Abreu just won, Sporting News Major League Baseball Player of the Year. Is that a precursor to the AL MVP? Because I personally think he deserves it. And then Rick Hahn has also just got from the same publication, Sporting News, just won the Executive of the Year. Could it be a precursor to the AL MVP for Jose Abreu?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, again, this is like the SAGs and the Oscars, right? It's a different group of voters, but the Sporting News has been giving these awards out for so many decades that a lot of people look at it and think, okay, well, this is pretty much what you're going to do, which from a Sox fan's perspective, interesting, Kyle Lewis of the Mariners got the AL Rookie of the Year from the Sporting News. And a lot of folks, I think, especially in Chicago, thought that it was just a foregone conclusion that Luis Robert would win that.
His last month sucked. His last month sucked.
It did, but Lewis fell off a little bit too. But, I mean, a lot of people just thought that it was Luis Robert, and that's gravy. I do think
All right. I thought I was frozen too, fly
yes,
around, and I saw you moving. I was like, okay, yeah.
Tav. Well, part of the thing also, we'll hopefully get him back in a second, is the big drop off that Luis Robert had. Because Luis Robert was
it was crazy.
If he was more steady, you know, and then fell,
260s,
cool. But he was like boom.
Yeah, it was boom, and dude, we knew the Mariners kid was on our ass.
But Kenneth and that Mariners kid is good.
Yeah,
he's really
right. You know, like,
but it's like I said before, you know, and Shawn knows my stance on this season. If they're gonna say this is for a title, it's for a title. I'm not gonna argue with it, but it's not better. Like, we're not giving the players their just due because we haven't seen them through 162. They're never. You're not credited for a quarter of the season. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be judged for only playing a quarter of the season, unless less than that. It's hard to say that Luis Robert wouldn't have just turned a corner and figured out that slider was and all of a sudden became who he was at the beginning of the season. Well, he would be even better because now he could lay off that slider. So it's for me, it's hard to judge him. I feel like he's still. I mean, he's obviously still raw, but I would just say, until I see 162, it's hard for me to judge.
No,
what do you charge for what? I mean, we're just talking Rookie of the Year. What I mean?
No, right. But even the tail, the tail up, like, is he still not Rookie of the Year? You know what I'm saying?
He's not Rookie of the Year.
He only got 60
games.
You're right, but you're right. But unfortunately, that's what you got. We can say the same thing, and I know like that about Abreu, but Abreu basically stays steady Eddie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was two hot rookies. And our guy had a bad last month, a terrible. It was worse than bad. It was terrible. So he lost it. And we knew he lost it.
Tav's back. I'm sorry.
Okay. Hey,
there we go.
Hey, guys. Yeah, no, you're spot on. Like, Kyle Lewis he plays in Seattle on a bad team. Nobody watched except when you saw him taking home runs back over the fence. He was as good as Luis Robert this year, so I've got no problem with that. But the list of guys that did what Jose Abreu's been taken for granted on the national level for 3 years. And the fact that the dude is now back-to-back RBI champions in the American League should tell you all that you need to know. And he's the guy that every day went out there and drove in runs and was the leader, without question, of the best offense in the American League the entire season.
Was it 60
and the dude stays on the field.
Was it 60 for 60, or did he have 61 ribbies?
Yeah, 61.
61. 60 for 60.
60 for 60. That's insane, dude. That's freaking insane. Like, and I know it wouldn't have held out, but that's at a pace for 161 on 162. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? That's
awesome. and remember, like, this is Tim Anderson missed a couple weeks.
Yep.
Luis Robert took the last month off. Grandal had his ups and downs for weeks at a time. Like, there were different guys. Moncada was not the Moncada that we expected because of the COVID
you said
overlap. So but this is a dude who, even with Anderson missing time, Moncada not being himself, the other guys, Encarnacion was trash. Let's just be real. Like, Encarnacion was not good.
Stole money from us.
He still averaged an RBI a game, and that offense was. And Jimenez missed time too. Every guy on that roster except him missed time, and he still averaged an RBI a day. So when you take all that in, for me, not even a question. Like, he should be the American League MVP. He should be the Silver Slugger at first base. Luke Voigt, great, good for him. Love that the Cardinals gave up on him too. How about Cardinals fans watching Luke Voigt and Randy Arozarena bash in these playoffs while they're at home? But no, like, I think for me, no question, Jose Abreu, best player in the American League. His defense has gotten marketably better every single season. He was well above average this year. So for me, not even a question. Give Jose Abreu the American League MVP that he rightfully deserves. And that, again, just establishes what he is on the field. What he is off the field for this young group of guys is immeasurable. When Sox fans talk about moving on, we need Andrew Vaughn. Jose Abreu means more to that team than any manager. I would argue any other player in the majors right now. He is the captain.
He's the glue of that team.
We got first basemen in Chicago on both sides of town that are irreplaceable. And Abreu maybe becomes a DH in a couple years. You save his legs a little bit, but you cannot move on from that guy, not just because of what he does on the field. Replacing him on the field is going to be a damn near impossible task. But what he is in the room and on that bench as a leader of this young Latino team, not even a question. Hand him the MVP and make sure that he wants to be here until he retires, because that dude is what the White Sox are about.
Tab.
Say it again for all the people in the back who didn't hear you, Tab.
Yeah, talk.
Make sure Jose Abreu retires a White Sox, and then put the statue of 79 out there next to the statue of 13 that you owe Ozzy.
I like it. I like
retire them both.
I like it. Hey, you know what? And here's the thing: is he had 18 homers this year, and I believe 8 of them or 9 of them came when they were. No, yeah, I gave Wrigley.
I know it was like 6.
No, seriously, I think he hit 7 at Wrigley.
6 this year. But 8 or 9 of them came when they were down a run. So you talk about clutch. Come on, man. You talk about clutch.
He checks every single box on the field.
Except the box that don't wear that stupid little rubber band around your little goatee. That
if it's a man bun in the back, what is this?
That's a good question.
Like what are we calling that thing?
I don't know, but it's probably not politically correct, so I'm going to stay away from it. Hey, Tab, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man. You know what? This is definitely not the last time you're going to be on, bro. I'm sad. I'm upset at myself that it took me this long to reach out to you. I don't even know what. You know what? I'm going to punish myself. I'm going to go punish. Remember, liar. What are you doing? I'm kicking my ass.
That's all right. I tell my wife I'm putting myself in timeout at least once a week.
All right, we'll have you on a lot more, man. Great stuff, man. We really appreciate it. Do me a favor, though. Let everyone know where they can find you online.
Absolutely. Twitter, the one tab. The fourth period, committedindians.com for Blackhawk stuff. All over the place doing baseball stuff, Chicago now. So hit me up.
Excellent stuff, man. Good time.
Great talking to you.
All right, Tab.
We'll chat with you guys. Be good. Be safe.
All right, I'll be careful instead.
And go vote. Go vote.
Definitely.
Voted. I did it already.
I'm doing mine this weekend. I'm early voting. I always early vote.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful.
I had to go back into the city because I live in my address technically is still in the city, but I live on North. So
this is Chicago, early and often, Shawn.
Early and often, exactly. I was just about to say that we vote early and often. Just ask all the dead people how many times they vote.
I'm mailing one to Naples.
All right, boss. We'll talk soon, man. Thanks.
Be good. Good chatting with you, boys.
All right, now, guys, that was Tab Benford, Major League Baseball columnist, talking to the White Sox baseball right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning. Man, that was good stuff. Hey, Ivan, let's take a quick break, and on the other side, me, you, and Ken are going to chop it up a little bit. So don't go anywhere, folks. The trio, the three amigos, right next here, coming back right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. The 4-1 Bears on the road this Sunday, taking on the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. Chicago's been off since their 20-19 win over Tampa last Thursday. The 2-2 Panthers have won 2 in a row after being released earlier this week by the New York Jets. Running back Le'Veon Bell set to sign with Kansas City. ESPN's Adam Schefter on what the defending Super Bowl champs offense will look like with their newest addition.
The Chiefs have that dual back threat now where they can use Le'Veon Bell in a lot of different ways, running the ball in the red zone, line him up outside. There's a lot of different things they could do with him.
Bell reportedly signing a 1-year deal with Kansas City. He had also considered signing with Miami and Buffalo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows. So when you call 833-8ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. What you got going this weekend, Papa? What's up, Ken? What are you doing?
I'm supposed to go and visit my cousin's newborn son. He had a daughter first, and he had the worst gender reveal like 2 or 3 years ago. When he found out it was a daughter, he was like, "Oh," and it was like, "Dude, don't do that, right?" But he finally got his boy, and he named his. My brother passed in June. His middle name, my brother. Because they were close. Him and my brother were born like 14 days apart or whatever. But I'm kind of under the weather. I was supposed to go this past Saturday, but I'm kind of under the weather, and I had been out the last 2 weeks, so I don't know if I got something. Right? I'm not even joking, because I told you I was pretty sure I caught the big C, and I don't mean cancer, really in December, like late December. But I still wouldn't be able not to catch it now. So the old lady's going to go get tested on Monday. I should have went to get tested this week. So I'm probably going to call my cousin and be like, I can't come over there again because I don't want to risk some kid getting sick, even if I just have a cold. So I'm not probably going to do anything but watch some Bears football because I'm feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I ask you a question, my friend? All right, you're a friend of mine. You lighten up my days on Mondays and on Fridays. I have a good time. This is a good way for me to start off my day, all right? Just joking around and talking sports. So we got that Tampa win, right? I felt good on that Friday. I talked to you that Friday. Mm-hmm. And Monday, Rick Hahn is like, "Oh, I'm dropping more blessings upon." And it was like, dude, what world? And I was thinking about this just listening to the sports update in this commercial, that right now in Kansas City, they're going through the dream years of their life. It's like when we were kids and Mike was winning championships. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, this is football, so they may get 2, if that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may get 2. But, I mean, you got Le'Veon Bell being like, you know what? I know you got a running back. I'm going to come over there, too, and try to get me one or whatever. But right now here, I know we're supposed to talk to the Bulls. You had the Bulls let Billy Donovan fire coaches that they had just given 3-year contracts to, right? You got rid of Don Cooper, all right? So you don't even have to worry about the Morris code sent up to Kenny if something's going down in the club, right? You don't even have to worry about. And listen, love Coop. Let me put some respect on Coop. Coop is my pitching coach for life. All right, I don't care who comes. Coop is my pitching coach. All right, but you sat there, and then with Ricky, let me say this too. I know we take shots at Ricky, but we have to give him props for what he did with this culture. All right, he infused this culture. He may not have been the guy we all knew to take us to the end, but he did us a service what he did these years leading up to that. So I don't even want to diss that man. That man did us a solid. But this White Sox did the right thing on saying, like, you know what, we're gonna give him another year because he did this to us for us. No, this is a business. And when push comes to shove, this is a business. And as we know, when you saw that how quickly everything caught on with this team, you knew you can't waste a year, because you know what, that year you waste maybe your 2016. You know what I'm saying? Like, we thought at least if the Cubs didn't win one, they were going to go to 2. You know what I'm saying? At least you thought you would see 2 World Series appearances by the Cubs, right? So imagine if they had just waited around that year, Joe's first year, that they kept Ricky. And then that the next year, 2016, was Joe's first year, and he still kind of had to get the team figured out around the way that he wanted to manage it necessarily. So you never know. So I'm happy they didn't wait, and it's been a wonderful time as a Chicago fan. Since last Thursday, man. And look, the Bulls had that scrimmage. I got the updates from my executive producer Tony Gills telling me that Kobe White was busting all types of what's out there.
Breaking ankles.
Yeah. Told me Larry Markin, because I have to watch it. Told me Larry Markin looks normal, but that's compared to how he played last season. All right. So, man, right now, especially, with the Bears beating Tampa. And listen, go out there and put that beating on Teddy Bridgewater and let him know he should have brought his ass to Chicago.
Yep.
Right? And sit there and just, dude, it's a good feeling because there's optimism and it's not fake. That's the thing, too, about us, because we're meatballs. If you feed us a little bit, we'd be like, we'll expect that little bit to turn into a lot, or we'll wish for that little bit to turn into a lot, I should say. Where instead of that little bit, they're giving us a lot and saying, all right, so we're putting the most up there and giving us more opportunities to hit on what we want to do moving forward. So, man, right now, bro, listen, if I get like 3 straight wins from the Bears, I'm good. Like if they finish with around 9 or 10 victories, this year has, especially with how crazy this year has been, you know what I'm saying? Like how crazy this year has been. I can't complain, man. This hasn't been as bad as I was expecting it to be.
Well, talking White Sox, what's happening in the Reinsdorf empire is he's actually letting general managers do their job, and he's stepping back. Okay, and that's crazy. We've never seen anything like that. All right, Rick, you're the general manager, Rick Hahn. Okay, you do this. Okay, we're firing Ricky. We're firing Coop, and Coop was the biggest one. Coop was a bigger one, a bigger blow than Ricky. Okay, unheard of here because they see you. You're damn right. This is a business. Okay, yeah, we love the Bethless, we love the game, but it's a business. And he sees, and we know Rick Hahn is shrewd. If you don't ask the Washington Nationals, they'll tell you he's shrewd as hell. Okay, with that, and then over on the west side,
go ask the Cubs. Go ask the Cubs, Shawn.
Yeah,
go ask the
Cubs. Yeah. And over on the west side.
Low blow. It's a low blow.
Yeah, you put that picture of AJ getting hit every time.
Jose Abreu was a man. I'm tired of seeing him do this all the time. Yeah, the disrespect. I know you listen. That's sneaky. I know what you're doing with that, Ivan. That's sneak diss right there. I know what you're doing. You're not slick. I know exactly what I've been doing all this. No, don't try that.
Jose.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Real quick. Shawn, real quick, something that you just said, and I'll say this, and it'll let us know if everything that you said about Ricky is correct. Boy, I swear, if they hire Tony La Russa, Rick Hahn should start putting in his applications because a lot of other places will pick him up because you're cutting him off at the ankles, basically because, dude, you got somebody that's got the bat fold to the owner now down there in the clubhouse. He doesn't even you say, what, Rick? Okay, I'm about to call Jerry right now. Like, if he pulls that one, and listen, I applaud Rick Hahn if he's like, all right, I'm about to start letting people know they can come get me. Because that'd be foul if he does that.
You know what? That's what Shawn said, and honestly, it would – I wouldn't put it past Jerry. Would you put it past Jerry?
No.
Okay, so now that we have that foundation right there, here's why I could see it happening. Because Jerry has this love affair with Tony, right? Like they're friends. They're real good friends. And I'm sure Jerry wanted Tony to get a World Series title. You know what I'm saying? Now that you have a team and that Rick Hahn built, I could see the want, you know, as you're older for your buddy to win one the way you wanted it to be because it's your team. Just like he allowed the meddling with the Bulls, just like he allowed the Bulls to go the direction that they were going. I could see him meddling and just because he loves the Sox so much. You know, KRS-One, Love's Gonna Get You. Like that could be a Jerry Reinsdorf if he goes and gets a Tony La Russa. Like I'm telling you, I hope it's a smoke and mirror thing, but I hope it's not factual. That
first and foremost, you get mad cool points for Love's Gonna Get You. I was like, whoa. I was drinking something, I'm like,
wait, I'm a horse of a different color.
How old are you?
He's only in his 30s.
I'm 32, 31.
I figured, that was a good one right there. That was a good one right there. But you know what? They've been playing that video a lot. I don't know if you've really been crazy. You just been spotting that video on
No.
I'm telling. Listen, here's what's going to happen. I agree with you on one point, Ivan, because this is all just smoke and mirrors. I just think they're screwing. I think they're jagging us. Yeah. But I do think he does want his. He may want La Russa to get a ring with the White Sox. La Russa's got a ring, so he's got them. But if you wanted one with the White Sox, then you keep him on as an advisor like he was in Boston, and obviously everybody in the organization would get a ring. I think that's it. And I don't think he would do that to Rick Hahn, because that would be the ultimate disrespect to Rick Hahn after what he just did. I don't think he's going to make that call. I think if you've given Rick Hahn the autonomy to do what he's done, and he's gotten us to this point with what he's done, you can't say you can't cut him off with the knees. You can't, because that would be the White Sox. They would be one of the most hated franchises in the world from the fan base. Like, how can you do this to Rick Hahn when he got this team here? Why do you not think he can get a man? He fired the guy who was good, got us to the playoffs. Got us to the playoffs. Better say, you know what? That's not good enough. I need someone better. You fired a guy who did that. Yeah, this fan base would be livid. Even if we win a World Series, we'll be happy as hell we won a World Series. Where we simply like, you know what you did? You know what you did to Rick Hahn, you son of a. So it's just a smoke and mirrors thing, in my opinion. It's look over here, because I can't say AJ Hinch and Alex Cora's name now because the season's still going. So let's just I truly think it is. It really is.
But with an organization, not with an organization, with an owner who has part in 2 organizations in this city, and we just watched a documentary of the greatest team of all time get torn apart on his watch, under his regime. It's he has the power.
Well, he had the titles. The White Sox don't have the titles right now.
Right. He had the titles. I understand it. But that's not my point. My point is he will do whatever the hell he wants to do. So if he wants Tony La Russa to be in there, Tony La Russa will be managing your damn team.
No, he wants a baseball title more than he does.
Oh, that's no doubt. That's no doubt. But what I'm saying is that he, when he decides, it's that's it.
You own a team, of course.
That's it.
It doesn't matter. It's not just him. It's anybody. You could just say, "This is my team, and here's what you're going to do."
But what about Rick Hahn? We just talked about all the work Rick Hahn did. What if that's not the guy Rick Hahn wants?
He's not doing it. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
It's not going to happen. Again, remember, they can't say those 2 guys' names because they're suspended.
Of course.
So they can't talk about them. Okay, they can't. So who else are you going to say? We're just waiting. You can't say Sandy Alomar's name because Sandy Alomar is still Cleveland.
He should never leave Cleveland. He shouldn't leave Cleveland.
So, but I'm saying there's all the names that we want that are on the list are people that they can't say by law. So again, why not fuck with us? Hey, it's still,
I can see it.
I can see it. I thought he was doing Mickey Ficky. That's the second F-bomb you dropped on here today. Now let me know.
Oh, we've been willy-nilly. Just keep it light. Pepper it in.
A little bit of it.
Little drops. Little.
But listen, I'm in agreement with you, Shawn, that I do believe this is a smoke. Exactly. Let alone when the girl was in there twerking for him and the boyfriend came in there and dropped me that one like a week ago. At first, I didn't know that was Salt Bay. I was like, "Who Salt Bay?" All right. Hey, he get that type of action. She was in motion with that one. But yeah, Shawn, I agree with you that I think this is a smoke screen. And also, I think this is a way to break in somebody and find out what it is to a certain degree. I'm sure Jerry, in his heart of hearts, wouldn't mind if it worked out or whatever. And also, Rick is doing this to a service of his ownership. But I think when the end all be all, it's because those 2 names can't be said right now. Can't talk to Sandy because you'd be messing with somebody else's team. And then again, like most of the guys that are even, I know they said managerial experience, but even the guys that are like the bench coaches that you would want are still with the guy in Houston and the cat in with Tampa. You can't even get with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Most of the candidates are now are working, so or suspended. So you necessarily have to wait. I think it was done very well, and I know we didn't like it. Some of us didn't like it because you had to mention that Ozzy was out, but it just took so much. Putting that over here cleared the deck. You know, it cleared because we would all still be focusing on Ozzy. Because it'd be like, well, Ozzy's out there. Look, they interviewed Ozzy last week. We'd be so focused on that. And actually would have brought disappointment to so many fans of this fan base if you didn't do that after interviewing him and pulling his leg necessarily, that you shouldn't do that in the first place. But also, I think sometimes we forget that Rick Hahn was there when Ozzy was winning. All right? Like, Hahn has been in this organization. So you have to also know that Rick Hahn has to think about who he wants to work with daily. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't the Ozzy thing. It sits. I'm sure some of it sits squarely on Rick Hahn. With like, you know what? That's cool and all, but that's not necessarily what I want for this team moving forward. So to me, the things that he's been doing, man, it's been master strokes. Like I've always looked at him like, how much of it was Kenny and how much of it was you? Because look, Rick Hahn speaks Kenny Williamese. Like you could close your eyes sometime and hear that how Kenny, the inflection of his voice, you can hear Rick with some. They are similar. Like you could tell they spent a lot of time with one another, right? And so I'd always ask that, but now I can see the separation in it. It's clearer now to where it's like I'm like, oh yeah, this is Rick. Rick. This, even though Kenny has done some talent evaluations, because you may have gotten Abreu, but he signed off on Abreu and Lewis Robert. They're not giving that money out unless the dude above you is like, yeah, I see what you're seeing in that. But to me right now, Rick Hahn, and it goes to what you're saying, Shawn, about how we'd be upset as fans if you pushed him out. You clearly probably have one of the best general managers in baseball. Hands like down. That. So now we can't play with him. We got our Cashman. All right, we got our Theo.
Our young, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So don't play with him because they will come and get him. They were gonna come and get him before. They'll come and definitely get him now. He will be somewhere with a blue blood franchise, and we'll be sitting here looking like the Nuns because we pushed some guy that is getting drunk, getting so drunk he's stopping at stoplights and falling asleep. And he had like 10,000 cats at the crib or something. So don't mess this up right now, bro.
You had to bring up the DUI. You had to bring up the risk of DUI.
Right. We don't talk about that, right? Like he was out at the light. He was that drunk. He was out at the light, man. Come on, man.
Hey, cut him some slack. I've known people who've done that.
You have been that drunk, Shawn.
I've known people who've done that.
I know people too, but guess what they never did? Out at the stoplight, all right?
I know people who have done that.
Okay. But no.
And there weren't necessarily cops around. They just woke up and they were
still at the stoplight.
different songs on the radio. and they told me they got out and did jumping jacks after. That's what they said.
Spice water in your face.
They pulled nose hairs out. They're like, yeah, that'll keep me awake.
Oh man. Well, I'm happy that person made it home, Shawn, to say the least.
You and me both. You and me both. I was so happy for him.
On Shawn and Maya, we don't condone drinking and driving.
No, we don't.
All right? We don't condone.
And luckily, unfortunately, that was days without Uber. Now there's Uber and Lyft. So
Exactly.
So that person doesn't have to worry about anything else anymore.
I remember a friend of mine went to a Super Bowl party, and this friend hadn't really been drinking socially like that in a minute, but he hooked up with a grade school buddy of his and got 3-ish to the wind, right, and had to drive home. And I heard he was one eye open from the blurriness. It was the drive, but he didn't stop at the stoplight to go to sleep. I heard of this. I don't know this to be sure. I heard of this, but
I'm glad your friend was okay. Good. That's okay. That's okay.
Messed up.
Boy, those crazy things people used to do back in the day. I'm telling you.
Back in the day. Yes. Oh goodness!
Oh, that's a plus.
Was that the soup Nazi right
No.
That was Apu.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh man.
Hey, we got to take a break. But hey, Ken, great stuff, Papa. Great
Definitely, man.
stuff,
You two
man.
have a
It was
great
good time.
weekend, man. I'll holler at you Monday.
All right, now.
All right, Ken.
Oh man, that was Ken Davis. That was a great segment with him, man. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. What's he doing? Yeah. Hey, we gotta take a quick break. And oh my goodness.
What happened?
We gotta take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're gonna have Drew Cole from the from Sports Mockery talking Bears football. Don't go anywhere. Bears football talk coming up next, right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. The 4-1 Bears on the road this Sunday, taking on the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. Chicago's been off since their 20-19 win over Tampa last Thursday. The 2-2 Panthers have won 2 in a row after being released earlier this week by the New York Jets. Running back Le'Veon Bell set to sign with Kansas City. ESPN's Adam Schefter on what the defending Super Bowl champs offense will look like with their newest addition.
The Chiefs have that dual back threat now where they can use Le'Veon Bell in a lot of different ways, running the ball in the red zone, line him up outside. There's a lot of different things they could do with him.
Bell reportedly signing a 1-year deal with Kansas City. He had also considered signing with Miami and Buffalo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday as we wait for our guy Drew to come back on. Man, that was a great hour with Ken.
Yeah. We were happy laughing. I was busting a gut. I was laughing. I was laughing pretty hard over here.
I just glad our friends are all right. That's all I gotta say. Glad they are all right. But yeah, so man, our guys should be up ready to go any second. But man, these Bears talk. I'm excited for Sunday. This defense that we're going to face is nowhere near the caliber of defenses that we played in the last 2 weeks. The run game, the run defense that we're about to face is one that could be exploited. And this is the one. This is the week that we really. So if we bring up Lamar Miller, this is the week that Matt Nagy. I don't think he'll do it, but this is the week that he's really got to establish a run. He's really got to take advantage of a weakness of a defense. And we can still pass. We'll still be able to get yards with the pass. If we destroy them on the run, then they have to bring 7-8 in the box. They have to. And so we're going to find out what Matt Nagy does. We're going to find out if this offensive line can kind of pick its, find its pride once again and realize, okay, lick its wounds. We'll find its pride and say, hey, we're dealing with a defense that isn't as stout as the last two defenses we faced. And we need to impose our will and start getting confidence back in our unit, because if they can, I'm telling you, I really just want to see David Montgomery run through a hole, and make a linebacker miss, or make a DB miss as the first guy he's dealing with.
Right.
And we haven't had that all season. So
it's like the Bears have this. The Bears have. I'll put it in these terms. I know we're in a pandemic, so I am sympathetic to those who have gotten COVID and those who have passed away. But the Bears have a sickness in the running game, and the Panthers got a remedy. That defense is not good. That defense has holes in it. That defense can be exploited. And this week is the week Matt Nagy needs to go ahead and put 30 points. Like your play calling needs to put 30 points up. The Bears need to put 30 points up on the board. This defense isn't. They don't have Luke Kuechly isn't across the line. You know what I'm saying? Thomas Davis isn't over there.
Julius Peppers isn't there.
Julius Peppers isn't there. You know what I mean? They're not the same. Cam isn't even there. We're talking about Teddy, and I know Teddy's good, but Teddy's not Cam. You know what I'm saying? This team is decent as the Panthers start has been. I feel like the Bears, if they're going to be a contender, you need to have like last week's win. That was a great, hard fought, gutty win. I need to see you go ahead and put a whooping on a team. I really need to see you put a whooping on a team. And I know a win is a win is a win. But it's nice to go ahead and get your horses running. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, it's nice to get your guys loose, get them free, let them have a big game, and get some confidence in that offense, because that's something that I think that offense lacks. I mean, it's starting. You're starting to see it build up now that you have a leader in Nick Foles back there, but it still lacks some confidence. I feel like.
Yeah, it's. What I would like to see is the Bears can get a touchdown a quarter, okay, and then find a way, maybe a defense score, maybe a special team score. But I want a nice drive each quarter that'll take us in, and that'll be 28 points, and then the defense turn the ball over. Either they score or they get the ball back on the 20, somewhere in the red zone. We go in and score, so a cheapie like that, and that'll put up 35 points, and something that makes us feel comfortable. Something where the game's not in doubt at the end, where the defense has to make a stop or the offense has to get a first down to run out the clock. No. I want you to beat their ass. I want them to know that going into the fourth quarter, there's no shot, because we're running the ball down your freaking throat. This defense is stopping you, Khalil. And here's the reason why I think so. Khalil Mack, I think you've awakened the Kraken. You've released the Kraken last year. I think we need to thank Tom Brady for releasing the Kraken, because I think he's healthy again now. He's an unbelievable terror, and we're going to talk to our guest, because I want to get his take on it, guys. He writes for Sports Mockery, covering the Bears. You can find him on Twitter at Drew Cole. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Drew Cole. Drew, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey man, doing well. How are you guys?
Good. What do you want to be on camera, man?
Oh, is it not on? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been back and forth on my webcam today for meetings and stuff. So I apologize.
What are you in a witness protection program or something? I'm waiting for the phone. Hey, good stuff, man. Good to have you back. It's been a minute.
It has. It really has. Hope you guys are doing well.
We are. Thank you, and likewise. So let's get right to it. The Bears are facing the Carolina Panther team that as Ivan and I were just talking about, whose defense is nowhere near the caliber of the two defenses we've just faced. Give me your thoughts on what you think this offense should do against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks they've faced two really, really good defensive fronts, and I think this is a week where they can reestablish the running game a little bit. They just lost. The Panthers just lost K1 Short, and that's a big loss for them. I think there is an opportunity for them to establish the ground game a little bit, get that play action to be a little bit more effective. The Panthers, though, I think I heard some of the what you guys were saying, backstage, and I agree that this defense does have holes to exploit, but they're well coached. They sit back in cover two, and they close on the ball fast. They have speed, especially Jeremy Chin, who kind of blends that safety linebacker hybrid role quite a bit. He's got speed, closing speed. They tackle well. Like they're disciplined. So the Bears will have to execute. Certainly on defense against the Panthers' offense, but on offense against this defense to establish physicality and everything, and in order for them to stay out of the chains, because even though the pass rush that the Panthers have may be limited because Pietro Gross Matos will maybe out with his ankle injury, but Brian Burns could be back, and he's really, really good. So, the Bears still have to execute.
Yeah, but I know they have good players. They just don't have a good defense. And you know what? And this is why I'm adamant about Matt Nagy really getting his ducks in a row. As I was telling Ivan, I want them to score one touchdown a quarter. You score one touchdown a quarter, and then let the defense set you up with a cheapie somewhere, and that gives you 35 points. The Bears put up 35 points. That's a nice game. Okay, and I don't. The thing that I don't want is, as I was telling Ivan, I don't want the defense to have to make a stop. Okay, I don't want us to have to drive down. I don't need us to run a 4-minute offense because we need to hold the ball, because if they get it back, they can go down and score. No. I want you to beat their ass, and I want you to let them know that in the fourth quarter there's no chance. Okay, and that's the step that this team has to take. Okay, because we've done it early on. Okay, with bad teams. Okay, but even at that point, it was always close at the end for some reason. So now we're having another team that's not as strong as the two teams we just played. So now I need you to go and say, okay, we got a little bit of swag now because we beat, Tom Terrific. Okay, let's go. Let's beat a team that's not as good, and let's beat them convincingly. If they can do that, Drew, I will be extremely, extremely happy.
Me too. And the Panthers are a surprising 3-2, and like I made mention of, right? They're well coached, but this is certainly a team that can and should be beaten. I predicted a close game in my Twitter release this morning, but I can certainly see, if the Bears execute well, that they should be able to blow these guys out. And the thing to keep in mind is the Panthers, they have good numbers on offense. Mike Davis is playing well. Teddy Bridgewater has good stats, but they're not exactly what I would call dangerously explosive. They have guys that if Teddy gets the ball out to their playmakers and the Bears miss tackles, then yes, they can take a 5-yard pass 50 yards, but they're not going to throw deep shots all over the field and get back into the game quickly, right? Their entire game predicates on ball control offense and go methodically down the field. So if the Bears get a lead and they force the Panthers to be one-dimensional and pass significantly, then I think that sets up well for hopefully a relatively significantly easy win for the Bears. The one thing that I would say, though, is again, they'll need to tackle on defense because, like I said, Teddy is not necessarily going to make himself susceptible to hits. He's been getting the ball out fast, getting it to the playmakers, and so they just need to be ready to tackle. If they can, then I have a hard time seeing the Panthers doing enough on offense.
Hey guys, we're joined by Drew Cole from Sports Mockery, covers the Bears. Talk a little Bears football right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago.
Hey Drew, you mentioned execution, and that is something it's been lacking. Even though we're 4-1, the lack of execution. Let's say we were a little worse, we could be 1-4. On the flip side, but the lack of execution was definitely glaring in the Colts game. And I'm just thinking, if this team, and we talked about them just scoring, a touchdown a quarter, but I feel like if this team could just 21 points, like really, I mean, besides that Falcons and I believe the Lions game, 21 points wins you games against the Bucks, the Colts, and the Giants. Yeah. So I feel like the lack of execution on offense, and I am critical of Matt Nagy just because I feel like at certain times he takes the game away from his quarterbacks. He goes ahead and it's like he's too emotionally involved at times. So at times when I feel like you should go fast, he's going slow, and when they should go slow, he's like he's doing jet sweeps on 3rd and 1 that are on a quick defense. You know what I'm saying? Like things that don't make sense. But I feel like if the Bears could hit, especially the biggest one I would say right now is that miss to Darnell Mooney against the Bucks. If the Bears could hit maybe 2 or 3 of those against the Colts, we're talking about an undefeated football team. So for me in this game, I want to see the execution come. I want to see it crisp. I'm not saying you're going to hit on everything, but I need to see better execution against the Panthers and their not so great defense.
Certainly. And I think part of what's hurt execution is not being able to get the running game going. Matt Nagy's offense is pass first. It's going to be pass first. It's just the reality. But if for the Bears, they seem to get into a better rhythm when the running game is working. And so they haven't been able to do that the last 2 games, and we've seen some pretty sputtering, tendencies from the offense because of that. So I think hopefully they do pay attention to the running game in this game. They do establish it early, and they open up some of those play action deep shots for Nick Foles, because otherwise the Panthers are just going to sit back and do what the Colts did and, zone them out, put 2 safeties deep, and hopefully, be able to stop the run or run blitz or just blitz Nick Foles and see what can he do, because they do tackle pretty well. So all they need to do is get the ball out quickly, get it to someone, and the Bears don't have a ton of speed on offense to outrun some of their guys. So they need to be, they need to block well. That's the first thing. They need to make sure they don't trip over their own feet. I don't know if you guys saw one of those plays from last week where David Montgomery one of the Bears offensive linemen, I think it was Cody Whitehair, stepped on James Daniels, and that threw off the timing of a run play that Daniels would have pulled and sealed off the last remaining guy on the right edge, and Montgomery would have had a 50-yard touchdown. And it's just like one little thing, and they tripped, and they only got 4 yards out of it. That kind of stuff can't happen. And hopefully, if the Bears, I think if they execute right, they have a good chance to do it. It's just, can they, right? They have a new starting left guard in this game with Alex Bars. Let's see how he's improved after settling in a little bit against the Buccaneers. And they'll be on the road, and this will be the first game, I think, where there's going to be actual fans in the stands. I think Carolina's allowing a certain number of fans per game, so we'll see. This will be a new element for them this season on the road. So let's see if they can do it. But this is a team they can get right against.
Switch to the other side of the ball. I tell him, Ivan, that I think the Kraken has been released. I think Tom Brady talking a whole bunch of shit to Khalil Mack last week really riled him up. And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, Tom," I was like, "Don't do that, man. Don't do it." Like, I'm happy, but don't do that, because I don't think you're ready for that. I don't think you want none of that smoke, Tom. And if he has released the Kraken, or what do you think? Because I think, first of all, he's not on the injured list at all, which is great. Thank God. Okay, so that bum knee that's been giving him issues is not going to be an issue. So now maybe that was one of the things why even when he was getting held, that was still stopping him, is because he couldn't explode off that knee like he wants to. Maybe now that he's full go, and this dude is going to be the wrecking machine that the entire NFL knows he can be. And if he is, what's that going to do for him? But more importantly, what's that going to do for Robert Quinn? Because they're going to have to. They're gonna have to take somebody off of somebody to get double and to triple team him if he is the Khalil Mack that we know, and then that means Robert Quinn's gonna have a little easier access, and he was only the league leader in sacks last year, and you got Akeem Hicks up the middle who only collapses pockets and eats quarterbacks for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. I think it was Chuck Pagano who said against the Buccaneers that they had quite a bit of tandem play against the Bucs, and the coverage helped just enough for the pass rush to get home, pass rush got home, and that affected coverage. So I think, at least for example, this game against the Panthers, I think will be another example of that, where they need to work in tandem so that the pass rush has an opportunity to get to Bridgewater, because he gets the ball out really quickly. But to that point, if the Bears are sound in their coverage and they're able to not to allow anyone really get open in time, I think you'll see that, right? I mean, Khalil Mack not showing up on an injury report, and he looked like, just insane out there against the Bucs, explosive and strong and everything. That was awesome. And Robert Quinn, I know he didn't get to the quarterback, and I think he only showed up in the box score because he recovered that fumble. But he was right near Tom Brady all game as well. I think he was credited with 5 pressures. He should have had a quarterback hit. He's getting it going too. And so, when you have both of them, coming off the edge, you have, Akeem Hicks collapsing pockets, and Mario Edwards Jr. is playing super well as well. So, I mean, you have guys that can, get after the quarterback. They've been really good about getting their hands up and batting down passes, like we saw a few times against the Bucs as well. So hopefully, this Bucs game was an opportunity for them to kind of feed off each other. Coverage succeeds because the pass rush was good. Pass rush succeeds because coverage was good, and hopefully we see more of that, because that was fun. That was fun.
It really was. Talk to me about the cornerback Jalen Johnson. Jalen he's been playing like not a rookie. He got beat by Mike Evans, but hell, Mike Evans beats a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah.
And this kid has been really a pleasure, a sight for sore eyes, because we needed that after Prince Mukamara left. We had a glaring hole over there on that side, opposite Kyle Fuller, all pro. And we needed someone who could, one, deal with all the smoke that was coming their way, because they're not going to throw to Kyle Fuller's side as often. And because he's a rookie, I'm going to try and test. A quarterback's going to try and test you, and he's lived up to damn near every single time that they've gone. Of course, he's going to get burned. It happens. Everybody gets burned. But the way the plays he makes and the attitude that the guy has, and the forgetfulness of the play before when he got burned, for him is that of a 3 or 4 or 5 year vet.
Yeah, he's been remarkable. I go back to week 1, and I saw this on tape on the All-22, and it was remarkable. That we all know about DeAndre Swift's drop, but the play after that, the last play of the game, on the broadcast screen, it looked like it was an incomplete pass that Jalen Johnson helped break up, but it looked like it was a double coverage throw because Eddie Jackson was in the screen. Man, if you look at the All-22 of that play, that was Jalen Johnson matching Marvin Jones's footwork step for step. And that was, it was almost the exact same play that you saw Darnell Mooney's touchdown against the Giants. It was like that play where you have one cornerback, you have on the one receiver, and it was just Mooney happened to get open. Jones was getting open. Jalen Johnson was able to recover really well and break up that pass. And that was one example. I'm just like, oh my God, that was a phenomenal play. And we've seen that, quite a few times. His closing speed is good. His ability to mirror receivers is really good. He's been good with press. He's been good with getting his hands in there, avoiding pass interference calls. He's been really, really strong. Probably the best looking cornerback in the entire class. One of the best looking cornerbacks in the entire NFL. And this is his rookie season, no training camp, no nothing. It's remarkable what he's been able to do.
Hey, Drew, go ahead, finish.
Hey, Drew, how do they stop the running game of the Panthers? I know Mike Davis, former Bear Mike Davis, he's having a decent game and filling in for CMC, Christian McCaffrey. But, I feel like, and although they allowed a 100-yard rusher against the Bucs and Ronald Jones, I just feel like they're getting there with stopping the run with the run defense. I know they're missing Eddie Goldman. Me and Shawn talked about it for an extended period of time ad nauseum. Is Eddie going to be huge? We're all hoping this guy could do it, Roy Robinson Harris or Bilal Nichols, but Eddie's. The lack of Eddie's presence has been huge, but I feel like they're getting there. I just feel like, they just need to be a little more aggressive at trying to stop the run. If they could stop it in like the first half if they could keep it bottled up in the first half, then I feel like in the second half you could get a offense to maybe deter from what they were doing. Because I feel like there was a difference in the Buccaneers offense from the first half to the second half when it came to regards to running the ball.
Yeah, and also, they did a pretty decent job against Jonathan Taylor as well. I think the biggest thing for them is to tackle. They really haven't been doing that very well. There were a few times I think it was in the first half where Roquan Smith he diagnosed the play perfectly. He shot his gap and just missed the tackle. And luckily he may have slowed down Ronald Jones or whoever was carrying the ball at the time, Keyshawn Vaughn at times, to only get 2 yards instead of maybe 6. But still, those are good plays. They just need to finish those tackles a little bit better, because there were plays where they missed tackles routinely, and the Bucs turned 10 yards into 30, and so that can't happen against Mike Davis. And he's going to be running angry. He's motivated. This whole revenge factor thing, could be real on Sunday. But I think that's the number one thing. They just make sure they tackle when they have an opportunity to. Otherwise, I think they're filling their gaps much better than they did early in the season. I remember in week 1, Adrian Peterson had easy run lanes because no one was filling their gaps properly, and that was difficult to watch. But I think they've done a better job of that recently. Now the next step is just tackle.
It's I think you're right, but Roquan Smith, I think he's having a good year. I really love the way he flies around. I really, obviously, I don't like the tackles that he's missing, but Ivan and I talked about that before. Like they're professionals on the other side of the ball too. So just because you're there and it make they as a former running back, like I see that. I've done that. I've done that move many a time when because there's nowhere to go. The only way to get out is to spin. So you got to create the use the collision to create separation and spin. So it's good. I'm good with him. And I'm good with Jalen Johnson. Who I'm not good with and who I have a lot of issues with and I'm concerned with are with Danny Trevathan. What are you seeing with him and what's going on with him?
Man, what a you look at what Danny Trevathan's done, the first, 4 or 5 games, and you look at, Nick Kwiatkowski coming back from an injury and, blowing up plays against the Chiefs and leading the Raiders to a road win is like weird to see, right? But no, Danny Trevathan, obviously well-respected leader. I thought honestly it was a sound decision to bring him back before the season started at the time because of his speed, his knowledge of the game, cheaper, frankly. But man, the drop-off has been substantial. And I can't help but wonder if he's hurt in some way because
I was just going to ask you that if you had heard if he'd been hurt.
No, I haven't.
It's too far from here. His played here to fall this far in one season.
Yeah, and it's his speed. The speed is one of the biggest things of his game. His instincts have looked a little bit off, which is also surprising. But I think he's gotten better in the instincts department in the last couple of games. But his speed, man, that's concerning because a lot of these linebackers, look, for example, Roquan Smith. If Roquan Smith loses his speed, he's nowhere near as effective a linebacker as, he is right now. Someone like Danny Trevathan, who's made a living off of instincts and speed and closing speed, tackling, all that. If he can't run, he's a liability. And we've seen that, week 1, we saw him trailing. I think it was TJ Hawkinson, a couple times, I think in week 3 or 4, I forget when it happened, but he's been behind in coverage repeatedly, and that's not good. And there is an opportunity for them to run right at him, with Curtis Samuel on screens and everything. Samuel can fly, and you have Danny Trevathan trailing you, and that's not a good matchup.
Who do you see that could fill in if this continues for Trevathan, this downward trajectory? Is there somebody who could fill in that role who either you could sub in, in sub packages, you could keep moving them in and out so you kind of get like the best of both? Or is there nobody? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I think the Bears have tried to compensate for that a little bit by going with more dime looks, and they were bringing in, Deion Bush a little bit more and trying to compensate that way. And it worked, for some parts of it. But honestly, their biggest thing is to hope Trevathan finds his feet. I'm really hoping that it is just a matter of not having the conditioning right because he's getting older and there wasn't any preseason snaps and everything. And to his credit, he's looked better like the last maybe week and a half. I think since the second half of the Colts game last week, I think he looked okay. He seems to be hopefully on an upswing, but if this is the best he's going to look, it's a rough 3 years of his contract, and they can't really get out of it either. So. Their best bet is to hope that he finds himself.
Guys, he's Drew Cole. He writes for Sports Mockery, covering the Bears. Great stuff, Papa. I really appreciate it, man. My apologies, man. It's been too long, so we got to definitely have you on a little more often. So we'll bring you back. Definitely, we'll be in touch soon. Okay.
Sounds good, guys. Take care. Go Bears.
All right, now bear down, baby. Okay. Guys, that was Drew Cole from Sports Mockery talking a little Chicago Bears football right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning, and. Yeah, there's still some question marks. So now that even though we're 4-1, there's still work to do, and now we have to clean up the areas that are deficient. And it's so much better cleaning them up when you're 4-1 than when you're 1-4. So there's some areas that we got, and Matt Nagy's got to be a stickler. Matt Nagy's got to be a son of a gun right now with technique, with effort. And these guys really have to get it through their skulls. Like, you know what? Yes, you are 4-1. You have one of the best records in the league, but that's not enough. That's not enough because right now you're not playing. You're playing your kind of football, a sloppy brand of football, when you have the talent to be playing at another level of football, and they're not playing at that level. And that's what's got to be etched into the brains of these guys.
Yeah, and I feel like they're on the cusp. I really do. I feel like and honestly, it was a blessing in disguise to have that Sunday, Thursday game, because you got embarrassed. And I think to sit a whole week and have to sulk on that and let that sink in. I don't know. I don't know whether it'd be beneficial to the team or it'd be damaging to a team. You know what I'm saying? It all depends. But for me, coming back and winning right away the way that they did, that has to shoot the confidence up of that locker room tenfold, because it's like this. Now you took a shot on the chin. You got through that first quarter 3-1. You took a shot on the chin at the end, a reality check. Then you came into the second quarter of the season knowing you had a tough opponent, grinding it out, gutting it out, finding a way to win, if you will, right? Now you got a team in the Carolina Panthers that on record is showing that they're good, but they're not that good. That the Carolina Panthers are pretenders. So now you have an opportunity to establish yourself as a football team, as a contender, because you go out and you beat the Carolina Panthers. You beat them. I'm not talking about beat them like they did the Lions or the Giants or the Falcons. I'm talking about going from controlling from whistle to whistle, controlling the game. That's what I need. I need to see a complete game from the Chicago Bears, and it starts with Matt Nagy's offense.
They need to. You're right. You're right. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this falls on Matt Nagy. How well does he get these guys prepared? Okay, I don't want to see busted coverages. I don't want to see anything, because the Bears seem to have busted coverages when they're playing a team that's inferior to them, and they seem to be giving away free yards and free points. So they really need to. I need to see a team that's firing on all cylinders. I need to see a few sacks, 3 to 5 sacks. I need to see this week, which means they're getting home, which means the coverage is good, which means they're punting a lot. Right. So, and then I also need to see Nick Foles. And I didn't ask Drew about him, but one of the things that we do need to see is I need to see Nick Foles step up. All right, you've had a couple of crappy passes, and I liken it to Brett Favre having rough times in the first half, and then coming, back to Brett who he is in the second half. Well, you're not Brett Favre. I don't need you, and Bears fans don't need you to be off in the first half. They need you to be on at the start of the game. So I need him to come out and be a lot more consistent, be a lot more accurate to start the game. Because if they can't, God bless it. I want to see Chuck Pagano unleash the hound, but we haven't been playing with leads. Get us a 10-point lead. Get us a 14-point lead. God forbid, give us the 17-point lead. What the hell is Chuck Pagano going to do? Chuck Pagano, because if he doesn't just send everyone and their mama, then something's wrong with Chuck Pagano, and we need to reevaluate that, because he loves pressure. And if you have a 10 or 17-point lead, and they need to pass, that pressure better be on.
We've been saying it all year long, and it seems like we were waiting for this week. This is the week. This is the week. But no, this is the week. This is the week. This Panthers team is the pretenders. All through and through, they're pretenders to me. So if you go ahead, if you're Matt Nagy, if you're Nick Foles, you've had 2 weeks now. You've had all the practice snaps. You're getting acclimated with your receivers. Now you should be on the same page. That miss to Darnell, okay, all right, that was huge. It was a big miss, but you could put that under. They didn't have time together. They had no training camp together. They haven't been working together. That's camaraderie with your receivers. That's built through time. They haven't had that. They're learning on the fly. But Nick Foles completed 7 passes in a row at one point in that game. So it's there. It's just how fast are you going to get it, to being a well-oiled machine. And right now, we need it to happen this week. We need it to happen soon, because it's going to get tougher and tougher, especially once the divisional games against the Packers and the Vikings get closer and closer week by week.
Listen, we got to take a quick break. I agree with you, but we got to take a quick break, and it's the last break of the show, last break of the week. So on the other side of the break, we're going to have a little more sports conversation to wrap up the week. It's been a good week. It's been a real good week. A lot to talk about. So don't go anywhere, folks. More sports conversation right here. And you know what? And get interactive with us today, guys. Give us a text or leave a comment on the post, whatever way you're watching on the app. Make sure you download the app if you're not watching us on the app. On Facebook Live, or on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not subscribed. So more sports conversation. We want you to get interactive with us today. So leave that message, and Ivan will put it up on the screen, and we'll talk about it. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. We'll be back right here on SportsZone Chicago.
BoomerNaturals.com presents the Sports Flash on 1330 and 95.9 The Zone. The 4-1 Bears on the road this Sunday, taking on the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. Chicago's been off since their 20-19 win over Tampa last Thursday. The 2-2 Panthers have won 2 in a row after being released earlier this week by the New York Jets. Running back Le'Veon Bell set to sign with Kansas City. ESPN's Adam Schefter on what the defending Super Bowl champs offense will look like with their newest addition.
The Chiefs have that dual back threat now where they can use Le'Veon Bell in a lot of different ways, running the ball in the red zone, line him up outside. There's a lot of different things they could do with him.
Bell reportedly signing a 1-year deal with Kansas City. He had also considered signing with Miami and Buffalo. Boomer Naturals, your source for 3-layer protective face masks. Breathable protection for adults and kids. Save 20% with promo code SPORTS at BoomerNaturals.com. Chuck Sanders, that's the Sports Flash, 1330 95.9 The Zone.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now, when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on SportsZone Chicago. This is the home run. I shouldn't say the home run. The final run, the final stretch.
We're about to hit a home run.
It's the home stretch. That's what I meant to say. It's the home stretch of the show of the week, and I'm excited about it. You know, going into this game, you know what? This is a perfect game for Cole Kmet to break out.
Oh yeah,
this is a perfect game. There's a lot of things that we talked about. You know, give me the running game. All right, this run defense isn't very good, so we need to attack that. I need David Montgomery. I want to see him get through the first and second level, okay, and get into the secondary and make a DB miss. Oh, that's lovely.
I thought I hit mute. My bad. My bad. I am so sorry. My apologies. I thought I hit the mute button.
We need to see David Montgomery get into the third level. And then also, are they bringing up the backup? We're going to find out. I hope they do, because I like Cordell Patterson. I just don't like him as a big part of that running game. So bring up the guy off the practice squad, Miller, sorry, and let's see him go to work. I know he's coming off an injury, but the instincts are still there. Is his body ready to take him where his eyes want him to go? Oh, we're going to find out. And it's especially if that running game's going. We need to get that running game going. We need to get tight ends involved. You know what I really haven't seen? I haven't seen any tight end pops. I haven't seen any play action. I guess we couldn't really last couple of weeks because the run wasn't working. So play action is null and void. But, I want to see, even if it's a quick tight end pop or a tight end out, a 3-yard out, turn around, make a defender miss or high step a defender and get another 10 or 15 yards. This is what I want to see. I want to see this kid go to work. All right. I want to see this kid, and they're talking, and sometimes they're talking about the Bears have confidence in him. Well, damn it, use him. Call plays set up for him.
I like I said, I know we were talking about Le'Veon, if the Bears are better with Le'Veon. I mean, Yeah, but if you have a running back, that fits the system, I mean, isn't your team better regardless of the player? So I'm just saying, like, because I want to see Lamar Miller. I really do want to see Lamar Miller in this offense, just because he maybe he wasn't built to be the feature back, but in this offense, if you're going to use him in spurts, in condensed situations, man, that speed, his ability to get to escape, his ability to take it to the house, that's everything that you'd want if he could stay healthy. That's Lamar Miller's issue, is if he can stay healthy. And I think the issue is because he was the feature back. Now he's not the feature back. Now he's not number one. Now you're coming in certain situations where you could, like, you're typically probably going to have the advantage against whoever whoever's lined up against you, whoever's covering you.
I still, coming off an injury, I'm a little leery. All right, with Le'Veon Bell, he was the full package, and so I mean I'll be over it. I'll be over it sometime today. Still salty about it, but I'll get over it. And then Lamar Miller's got to come and do work. He's got to come in and he's got to show, he's fighting for his NFL career. And I think that, he's got to really, really show out. And it helps. I mean, everybody wins if he does. Everybody wins if he does. All right. The Bears have a much better run attack. Okay. Which means now the passing game should be a little more open. Not that Nick Foles needs help, because Nick Foles can see and read defenses very, very well and call plays accordingly. But if you make it easier for Nick Foles because your run game is going great, that's only going to help the Bears. It's going to help him, because if he doesn't stay here next year, well, guess what? He's going to find somewhere else. So right. and make him some money. So it's a win-win situation. He's got a lot to prove, because a lot of money is on the line for him and his family.
Right. And now you could literally put three guys in the backfield. Again, you could have three guys. You could have three guys, and you could go ahead and spread one out. Lamar Miller could run. He could run in the slide. He could run routes. He's done it before. But I'm not saying that they're going to go ahead and be world beaters. But it just makes it that much. It gives Nick Foles another option now. Now you have another option with Lamar Miller. Now you're not. Now David Montgomery and Cordell Patterson aren't your workhorses. Aren't like they get an extra blow. Now you get someone, like I said, who can escape, who can find his create his own separation and take it to the house. Lamar Miller, when healthy, he's dangerous. He's really dangerous. And if he's your third option at running back, or even second or third option at running back, I would like that. I would take that.
I'll tell you what,
he didn't stay healthy though. Didn't stay healthy.
He could be the perfect fit for this offense, and like the Patriots do so well. The Patriots will get guys who aren't great players, but they're great for their system.
Right.
And if we can get a guy, I mean, don't get me, but there's players that'll be good that supersede a system. Le'Veon Bell will supersede any system. All right. He would fit Matt Nagy's system because of his skill set, but you could put him in any system, and he's one of those guys who would fit it. If Lamar Miller is that guy who fits this system well, hell, man, then yeah, I'm ecstatic to have him up, but we got to use him. Don't give me a guy who fits the system and then he gets 8 carries, 8 touches. Right. Don't do that, because that's just being an ass. That's just being an idiot.
And part of me felt like if you go and get a Le'Veon Bell and you don't utilize him, correctly, like then what have you lost? Especially if you would have to have traded, because I mean, let's be real. Like, who knew who knew Le'Veon was going to come out free on the market? Who knew that? Who knew they were going to release him? I didn't. It was a shock to me. It was a shock to you, I'm sure. But for me, it's like, if you knowing Matt Nagy's offense, knowing how he uses a running back, you think he would have been happy?
And here's where you're talking. Would Le'Veon Bell be happy?
Right. Correct.
Here's where I don't have a problem with a guy saying, listen, use me. Like, I have a skill set. Use me. And I think that Matt Nagy would. I mean, first of all, again, he fits Matt Nagy's system. So I don't think he would have a problem, because now you're looking at a situation where you got like a Kareem Hunt back there at KC 2 years ago. All right. You got a guy back there that you can feed. You have two running backs that you can feed. So I again, I'll be over it sometime today. The possibilities were endless, but he's with Kansas City now, and as much as it sucks, I'm going to get over it eventually, sometime today, and I'm move on. But I'm not there yet, so I'm still going to bitch and moan about it because I'm still a little salty.
I'm trying to get over the Colts. Like, let's just say that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't blame you if you hold that Le'Veon thing. For me, I'm good. For me, I like where the Bears are going. I don't need. If he's a distraction or not, rather if he's, I believe he might be a distraction to this team, and I don't think he'd be happy in this running back room with how he would be utilized. So for me, it was a no. But like I get you. I'm still holding on to mistakes that they made against the Colts. Big mistakes that could have turned the tide of that game. You know what I'm saying? That could have been different. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying with Le'Veon, and he could be the difference. But
Lamar Miller could be the difference. I mean,
that's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, it could be Lamar Miller. Like, I just like where we're building towards right now. I know the season has started, so like, what the hell is going on? But we're 4-1. Like oops, we're 4-1. Kind of a deal. But we've seen teams like this go on and win a Super Bowl. We've seen teams struggle and go on and go deep into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We've seen teams turn it on, really start to get to their peak late in the season, real late in the season. So I feel like the Bears have all the makings to be that kind of a team, especially now that you have an established leader under center.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This I can't tell you how fired up I am about Sunday. Really looking forward to it. The guy that I want to see have a game is Nick Foles. I want to see Nick Foles have a game. All right. Everyone else, because if Nick Foles has a game, guess what? Everyone else is having a game. Okay. That means the Darnell Mooney's are having a game. The Allen Robinsons are having a game. The Jimmy Grahams are having a game. Okay. I need Nick Foles to have a game. And maybe my Javon Wims is going to have a game too if Nick Foles has a game. So as far as Nick Foles can allow these other people to have games, he can get these people on. He can get these people rolling. He can get these people in a groove, and that's what we need from him. This is why they brought you here. You're able to dissect to read coverages quickly, which is phenomenal. You're able to understand where the ball goes once these defenses and coverages are dissected. Even better, and you're able to get the ball out quickly, which is even better. So I need him to step up. Literally, I need him to I need 350 from him this week. 3 to 350 this week is what I need from him, and 3 tutties. If that's the case, then what happens is the ball's going to spread out because he doesn't lock on one receiver. That means Anthony Miller's going to have some catches. I need him to step up. Darnell Mooney's going to have some catches. We know Allen Robinson's going to have some catches. And Jimmy Graham's going to have some catches. And maybe this is what Cole Kmet will need so he can have 3 or 4 catches for 50 yards or 60. You know what I mean? Give me something like that or nothing huge. But, man, his catches I don't even care if it's 3 catches for 25 yards. If all 3 catches are first downs. If all his 3 catches are 3rd down, 3rd and 8, first down. Give it to him. That's what he needs. You know how much confidence this gives a quarterback and the tight end. The quarterback that he has confidence in the tight end, and the tight end knowing, damn, he believes in me. My confidence goes up.
You need to, and you said it, and you're absolutely right. I don't disagree with a word you said, but you need to convert 3rd downs. You need to convert 3rd downs. You can't be, and Matt Nagy said it in his press conference. He the day after, I believe, the game. And he was heated. He was like, he read off a list of 3rd downs, and it was just 3rd in like astronomical numbers. 3rd and 19, 3rd and 27. It was just, how are you in this position? Like, if you're in these positions, you cannot. Like, it's damn near impossible to succeed if you keep getting 3rd and 28s, 3rd and 18s. Not even getting off the field on some 3rd downs. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can't convert on 3rd down and give yourself another opportunity, I'm sorry, but we're going to see this. We're going to see this lackluster, non-executing offense.
they're gonna have to have big plays and do everything on first and second down, which is what you don't want to do. And
Exactly.
because third downs get you off keep you on the field, keeps the defense on the field, and keeps your defense off and fresh. So yeah, I agree with you. Third downs is huge. Third down is very huge, but no buts. Third down is very huge, and they need to convert them. They need to do that. And if Nick Foles is on, which is why, and this is all part of him being on. One, if you limit the amount of third downs that you have, because you're getting 6 on first down, 5 on second down, move the chains. 7 on first down, 5 on second down, move the chains. Give me that. You give me that type of offense. If we have a lot less third down attempts, that means Nick Foles is on. That means, again, we don't need 15 yards. We need 6 or 8 yards, 6 to 7 yards on first down, 4 to 6 yards on second down. That's not a lot of yards, and the chains keep moving. And Nick Foles is the guy to do it. I'm looking forward to. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I want to see, like I said, I know I mentioned like a 3-back set, but just a 2-back set, a 2-back set in the shotgun. I would think with a guy like a Lamar Miller, next to a guy like David Montgomery, you're gonna find the mismatch. You're gonna find the mismatch somewhere, and it's all about execution to me. It's all about execution. If you don't execute, what more? Like what can we say about you? Oh, we're just going to be talking about ifs and buts. If you don't execute, what we talk about afterwards is the ifs and the buts and the maybes. Like, you need to show us who you are on offense. You need to establish this offense. Like, it's still sputtering, and it's already week 6. You can't have a sputtering offense week 6. Like, it shouldn't be, but it is, and they need to figure it out.
Well, the offense is sputtering because a couple of reasons. One, you got a new quarterback. All right. So after 4 weeks, you had a new quarterback. So there's going to be some adjustment period. Okay. The second week when he came back, his first game that he started, that bugged me. That really bugged me, and why he didn't do well. He didn't do too bad last game.
Right.
But the thing that I'm worried about most is Mike Davis. All right, Mike Davis is running the ball very well, and what's the weak spot of our defense is the run defense. All right, ever since he took over for Christian McCaffrey, he's got 45 carries, 219 yards, and 2 tutties in the last 3 games. So we're talking 73 yards a game. See, I did that real fast in my head. 73 yards a game, and the way that the Bears have been giving up real estate. I get it; it's a seller's market, but you can't be selling that much land to people. You know what I mean? And Mike Davis is getting. He said the right things. He's like, "Oh, you just got to be, things happen." So my mind said, "Always just be ready." No, dude, he circled this game when he saw they're playing the Bears. He circled it, and he knew because he knew he was a pawn in the big thing. They cut him so they can get a compensatory pick, and he never got a true shot here in Chicago. So he knew what it was about, and I'd be salty too. You used me as a pawn when you never even gave me a shot. Where I feel, or I'm sure he feels, he feels that he could have really been a help to this team, but they didn't. He never got that shot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I could see him playing with an extra motivation, with a chip, if you will. The thing is I feel like the tide has turned with this defense. You said Khalil Mack is unleashed. The hit Kyle Fuller put on Vaughn, Keyshawn Vaughn. That was the bell ringer. That was the wake up call. That was hello. Let's start playing aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Play aggressive. Hit a motherfucker. Hit somebody. I think the switch got turned, and you've seen it in Khalil. You've seen it with the hit that Kyle Fuller put on. You've seen it in that second half when the Bears started sensing, oh, these guys like they're vulnerable. They're vulnerable. We could get after this guy. They weren't afraid of Tom Brady. Nope. They stared down Tom Brady. They did what they had to do to get the win against arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, and they did it the Bears way.
Yeah,
so I think that this. Even with Mike Davis' extra motivation, I feel like the Bears defense is going to find a way to bottle up this rushing attack and try to make Teddy beat him.
Yeah, I don't know if he can do that, but we'll see. We got to Rise of the Bond 3. Said it really bodes well in a passing lead to have the best shutdown cornerback duo in Fuller and Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't know about the best, but they're in the top 2 or 3 if they're not the best. If they're not the best, they are in the conversation because and it's all because of Jalen Johnson. All right, we know what Kyle Fuller can do. Kyle Fuller is a 2-time All-Pro. So Kyle Fuller, we know what he's got. But when you got the other side, and they can exploit you, and they did. They shouldn't say did. They went after that rookie as well. You should. You need to know what this guy's made of, and you need to see if he gets beat. And that's the most important thing because he's going to get beat. Everyone does. How does he come back after he gets beat? He's come back after every time he's got beat. He's coming back and he's balled. He's never shied away from contact. He's never shied away from sticking his arm in there. He hasn't shied away from anything, especially after he got beat. So he's got that bravado. He's got everything he needs to be another Pro Bowl corner. And Rise of the Bond 3. Thank you very much for the text. What happens when this guy becomes an All Pro? Now we got 2, or get selected to the Pro Bowl, which got canceled this year. But
it's just
now
amazing.
you got 2 stud cornerbacks.
It's just amazing how Ryan Pace does this every year out of the first round. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, what were we talking about on Wednesday? Talking about a left tackle? I'm like, hell no, I don't want him drafting a left tackle in the first round. Draft them later because you do well. You find your gems there. Although they haven't found – well, they found Daniels. I would say they found Daniels and White here. But I feel like they've been struggling finding another guy. You know what I'm saying? In the draft. So – I mean, it's just credit to how well Ryan Pace drafts in the later rounds. But Jalen Johnson, like, what a steal! What a steal! It's defensive rookie of the year conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
has to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I agree. Ivan, can you believe 3 hours has come and gone? Holy cow! What a great show today, dude.
So, honestly, I don't. And I don't want it to end because we're still going. I'm still like, all right, Bears. We're on Bears now. Let's do it.
Well, I want it to end because I'm starving. I'm gonna go get some sushi. There's a all-you-can-eat sushi spot over here that I gotta go check out. So when I get off the air with our peoples. Hey guys, I want to thank Joseph, our guest today, Joseph Phillips. He sits in every show 9 to 10. I want to thank Kenneth Davis for coming on. I also want to thank first-time guest Tab Bamford, the Major League Baseball columnist. I want to thank Drew Cole from Sports Mockery. I want to thank my executive producer, Ivan Vargas, our social media guy, Clarence Council, my lovely co-host of Absentia, Maya Kai, and of course, my man, you see him on the split screen. He is the Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife, Ivan Vargas. Thank you, people. All you guys made this a great show, and we're going to have more great shows. You keep watching us. Make sure you download the app off of Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, wherever you get it. Make sure wherever you get your apps. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, SportsZone Chicago, because we have a lot of great shows on there. We need you to we need you to watch and check it out, and definitely from a different perspective. And you need to hear these perspectives as opposed to the traditional perspectives that you normally get. And make sure you like us on Facebook. All right, so those 3, we need you to do that. Follow us on Twitter at SportsZone Shy. Just make sure if you're rocking with us, then rock with us, and rock with us all the way. Rock with us hard. And we appreciate that. All right. But yeah, so all you guys, awesome. I'm fired up for Sunday. Yeah. Armando Lara. Let's hope next show is a Bears Victory Monday. You're damn right. It's going to be. Oh, yeah. And we're going to talk about that. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. I don't even know where I'm going to watch it. Maybe Output, maybe home. Who knows? But we're going to go on a 69-hour break. And have you didn't tell what you were doing this weekend, did you?
Oh, football? No, I didn't yet. But I'm gonna be watching. First of all, the Irish tomorrow. I'll be watching the Irish tomorrow. I'll be watching baseball today, and then of course I got the Barely pregame show and the Basement Monsters podcast on Sunday for your football entertainment.
Oh, great!
Your knowledge, football knowledge purposes.
That's right. So your stuff, yeah, great stuff, man. Well, good. Enjoy the weekend. Like I said, I don't know where I'll be watching the game, but it's going to be a good one. I got my shirt. It was washed the other day. It's folded. It's pressed. So I just got to get the folding line, the fold lines out of it. And when I put it on,
how about this? How about you come on at halftime for the Basement Monsters thing and give it we'll probably have Brandon So wherever you are, just come in and talk about the half.
Okay, I hope I'm not 3 sheets to the wind, but sure.
Even if you are, so are we.
So I guess it's a meeting then. Halftime of the Bears game. And if I go to output, it'll be good. You'll have a lot of background ambiance. He's got a tent up there, so he has people in the tent. So what he does, he's got the white tents, the white event tents that they have. It's white, so he projects the screen on the tent, on the side of the tent. It's huge. So, dude, the thing is about 15, 20 feet tall. The picture, the same thing. Wide, if not bigger. So it's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely I'll give you guys a call back on at halftime. Make sure you shoot me a link and we'll get that. Well, listen, we got to run, guys. It's 12 o'clock and I'm out of here. I am starving like Marvin. Again, I want to thank my guy for my co-host of Absentia, Maya Kai, and my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife himself, Ivan Vargas.
Bear down, baby. Bear down.
Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. I won't see you in 69 hours. I'll see you less than that on Sunday. I'll see you then. Until then, guys, we out.